Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 29. Amanda James.
Hello, I'm here.
It's a little bit of a chaotic day today.
When is it not?
Oh my God. It's been a chaotic couple of weeks, actually. So that's why we haven't been able to put out a video for everyone. So we thought we would go live today. And of course, that means that Amanda James is uncensored and unhinged. So
That's right. You just
That's
wait.
right.
Tiffany usually edits out all the crazy stuff.
Oh
But
my gosh. The things that come out of her mouth, it's shocking. Yes. So today we are going to be continuing with Sarah Boone's interrogation. We're going to take a look at the second part of this. And the first part of it hasn't been going very well for her. And really what the detectives are trying to get to the bottom of is, why didn't you let him out? That's really what it is. This isn't a case of, we need to figure out what happened to George. We need to know who did this to him. What they want to know is, why didn't you let him out when you had the opportunity to? And that becomes even more clear when they take a look at the videos that were on her phone. And that certainly paints a different picture to what she's trying to say. She's trying to say, well, you don't understand. You're putting this all on me. This is all backfiring on me. Right?
yeah, imagine that.
Imagine
Crazy.
that, yes. And certainly after hearing those videos and seeing how he was struggling, it's horrific, just like Sarah was trying to say.
Horrific.
It's horrific. So we're going to pick up where they started they had just finished playing it for her the second time. Remember where they just started playing it while she was talking?
Yes.
And it kind of threw her off a little bit, but she did power through it. So I'll give her that. But they're still trying to get to the bottom of it. They're saying, this looks really bad. So why don't you explain exactly what's going on? So that's where we're going to pick up here. So let's go.
Alcohol again.
Oops.
Like, I will never drink alcohol again. I don't care what it is in any way, shape, or form.
But let's get back to this. What was the reason for leaving him when he's begging to be let out? I don't understand that.
What I have a feeling was, and again, it's the whole time frame thing. You all keep asking.
I'm not asking a time frame. I don't care about a time frame. He's
So,
in the bag saying, my God.
And
you say, fuck you.
For the whole few minutes that he was in there,
Minimum 11, but yes, go ahead. It's a few. 11.
but
For the one video.
Well, in between the two videos.
Between the two
11
videos?
minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
so what was the question again?
When he's begging for his life, telling you he can't breathe, let me out, and you say, fuck you, why don't you just let him out? What are you trying to prove to him? There was obviously something in your head that you were thinking of when he was asking to be let out, and you were like,
Again, it's the boy calling wolf.
Okay, but where does this game end? You say this is a game, you got somebody in
Obviously,
there.
the wrong way.
So what was your intention for leaving him in there?
And it's not fair. It is not fair. You guys are trying to, again, he's in there. Night, night.
That's what happened.
No.
That's absolutely what happened.
Intentionally.
How's it not? You got up off the couch, walked up a flight of stairs, and got in your bed.
Thinking he was going to get out.
And he didn't, and you still didn't go down and check
And it's
on
the
him.
whole 30-minute thing that you guys are trying to do.
I don't care about 30
whatever.
minutes.
It's for all I know, it's 10 minutes.
He's begging for his life. He's begging for his life, telling you he can't breathe.
I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't. I didn't intentionally mean for this to happen.
But you
Then what
can't
did you
tell us
intend?
why you left him in there and went upstairs. That's my only issue. Like, what am I supposed to write? What do I write?
So my thing is, though, it's what I have a feeling is I went upstairs and just hit the bed kind of thing. But, again, I'm thinking he'll be up here any minute. But then I go out.
But my question is, why didn't you just let him out prior to going up?
I don't know why.
He's begging to be let out. He's not laughing. He's not having fun.
Guys,
You said
I know. I don't
this
know.
was supposed to be fun. You were laughing before. Before you said he was laughing, you were laughing, you went upstairs, he had his fingers out of the bag and he was playing. Well, obviously that's not the case.
So are you guys, so what is it you're trying to, like,
We're just trying to figure out why.
why? What?
Why?
What was the motivation for leaving him in the bag?
Why he was left in the bag? Why the video?
I didn't have any motivation. It was me, he and I having a great day, fooling around and being stupid, and apparently me going upstairs and hitting the bed, not going to sleep, where it's like, I'm tired now, I'm going to go to sleep.
That's excluding, it's a good analogy for the day, excluding the fact that he's got a bump on the back of his head, a bump on the front of his head, and his lip is busted, and he has a
Oh
bump
my
on his
gosh.
eye.
I don't know what you all want me to tell you. Like, this is not fair at all,
Yes.
that you all are assuming
You know what's
that
really
that's
funny?
from me.
Where else did it come from?
You know what's really funny to me is she said the reason she didn't believe George when he said he couldn't breathe and was begging for his life is because he's just the boy who cried wolf. He's just playing the victim,
Yes.
right? But yet here she is saying, this isn't fair to me. I'm being victimized in all this. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I think their question is very clear. What were you thinking when you left him in there? Were you thinking, I'll leave him in there to squirm, as she put it? Or, what was your motivation in doing that? And she's just saying, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. I think she knows what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why she doesn't want to come right out and say what she was thinking. Because she did say that, I'll leave you in there for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that lets the mask slip a little bit. Because you can hear what was going on during the videos. She wasn't laughing because it was fun and they were having a good time. She was laughing at him because she was in a position of power. And after all of the things that she's saying that he's done to her, now she has an opportunity, like, look at you now. Try and do something now.
That's what's so interesting. She's faced with that evidence where she's saying, I'm doing this because of everything you've done to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can't breathe. That's how I felt when you cheated on me and choked me. And then when they ask her, what was your motivation for leaving him in there? I had none. We had a great day.
Right.
Everything was, you have to reform your story as more evidence comes to light. You can't just stick with the original story.
Yeah, I know. A lot of the things that she will say are contradictory.
Mm-hmm.
And so just for example, she will also blame the alcohol. Well, the alcohol is the reason why I went upstairs and fell asleep. I ended up falling asleep. It's because of the alcohol. You can hear that I'm drinking during the videos. Mm-hmm. But he obviously was too, but I also wasn't drunk at the same time.
No, she can't get drunk.
No.
Yeah. She went on and on about how she can't get drunk. She doesn't like to get drunk. She has to keep her wits about her. But yeah, then she blames it on the drinking. She doesn't say, you could tell that I was drunk in that video. She said, you could tell I was drinking. Like, there's a difference between drinking and being drunk. I mean, there is, of course, but when you're so drunk, when you've been drinking so much that you can hardly pronounce your words clearly, there's a word for that, and it's drunk. Just say it. Just admit it.
I know. She can't, and she won't.
No, she won't.
And we've said it before that would help her so much, I think, because that's what makes sense. That's what makes sense. She was really drunk. And obviously, there's a lot of anger.
Mm-hmm.
But she can't do that. And she won't do that.
I know it would look so much better if she just said, I meant to let him out. I meant to give him 5 minutes in there to squirm. I meant to let him out, but I passed out.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, you know, as far as putting him in there and then also recording those videos, which clearly she was malicious. That's a very malicious thing to do.
Yes.
But she could have said, I snapped.
Mm-hmm.
I snapped. I just, you know, all the things that we've been through over the last 4 years, it's been a terrible relationship. There's been a lot of abuse. And I snapped.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out at her trial, because I wonder if she'll try to say that she left him in there because she was scared of what he'd do if she let him out or when she let him out.
Yeah.
Which could be seen as, you know, better than just maliciously stuffing him in a suitcase, laughing about it, and then going to sleep.
Sure. Yeah. Now, her trial is going to be really interesting, and we'll talk about that later, too, for some of the things that have been happening recently, because she's been very busy. So.
If you were, say it's opposite, you were in the suitcase and you're asking to be let out, would you hope that that person would let you out? Like, you're asking to be let out of a suitcase, should they not let you out?
Eventually. I'm guessing. I mean, I'm blaming it on the wine.
Blaming it on the wine.
So you guys are like assuming that.
You keep saying we're assuming, or we haven't assumed
Asking
anything.
questions.
But you guys are assuming that that's what I did.
No, by what,
Like, this
the facts of what happened. We got there, you said you pulled him out of a suitcase, you said you went up, you went to bed. We're not assuming that. These are the facts that you're telling us.
But
Now
what
we're
you said
asking
is
you
like,
to
oh, I'm
explain them.
tired. Oh, I'm tired.
Well, that's what you told me on a sworn recorded statement yesterday. Because when I said, oh, you went upstairs and passed out, you were like, no, I did not pass out. You got attitude with me because you were thought I was assuming that you were drunk. So that's an assumption. That was an assumption when I said you passed out. And guess what? You corrected me.
You were very adamant about the fact that both of you had your wits about you. What's your favorite word to use?
Compass mentis.
You've used it today too, to say that you guys were within your wits. There's two empty bottles of wine.
No, but we didn't drink both of them.
I think you did.
We didn't.
There's receipts for the
They were
statement
both
back there.
purchased yesterday, so I don't know how you didn't, because they weren't there the day before.
The one
There's
was.
two Publix receipts from yesterday. Only thing purchased on either one was a single bottle of wine, 2 of them. So we have each bottle of wine that was empty in your garbage can that you purchased yesterday, or he purchased, but you two would have consumed together.
Okay, well,
I mean, there's receipts, so it's not even worth the going back.
So this is, so I don't know what you guys are, I don't know.
We were just hoping that we could figure out why you...
What was the motivation?
There was no motivation.
Wow.
Well, we're watching a video that, after talking to you, everything was laughing and fun. Now we're watching a video where it's not laughing and fun. He's begging for his life, and you are in a very angry voice telling him to fuck off.
No.
Yes,
It's not.
that's absolutely what it was. It's not an assumption. The video's there. We played it for you.
So you guys think that I intentionally,
You did.
It
You got up
doesn't matter
off
what
the couch
it doesn't
and
matter
walked
what
up
we
the couch,
think.
or walked up the stairs and got into bed. That was intentional. There's no way getting around that. You intentionally did that. Nobody drug you up there. You didn't float up the damn stairs.
okay, well, it's not fair. It's not fair that you guys keep trying to say that that's what I did.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God.
I know. They're telling her what happened. The evidence is saying what happened.
Yeah, but they're assuming. They're assuming that the facts are exactly what happened as she told them they happened. And it's not fair. oh, man, I just can't even imagine that level of, oh, I don't even know the word for that. Um, Contradictory? Like, how do you even make such an argument with a straight face? She's good at that.
She is good at that. Yeah. I know. She won't answer the question. She'll just say there was no motivation.
Hmm.
How can you say there was no motivation? You have to remember what was going on that night. The whole thing isn't gone from your memory. Right? So I mean, I don't think that she remembered the videos.
I don't know. I originally didn't think that she remembered them. But I just wasn't, I guess I wasn't thinking that she could have deleted them and then they were recovered. I guess I just figured that they were just there on her phone. But I guess we don't know that either way.
I think that they were there on her phone. I don't think that it was fast enough for them to go and forensically analyze it
Yeah, you're right.
and grab everything.
Yes. Hmm. If they were deleted, then obviously I think she would remember them. But if not, then I think it's safe to say that she just totally forgot she even did that.
Yeah. Yeah. Those videos are so awful.
And incredibly damning. I mean,
Right. I mean, it really adds on another layer of evidence. Right. So obviously there's other things too that are going to come into play because we're going to listen to the interviews with the neighbors. So that's important. But they wouldn't even have any sort of a timeline at all if the neighbors, leaving their interviews aside, just with Sarah and the evidence that was there, as far as the suitcase and all of that, they wouldn't know when all of that happened if those videos didn't exist. So it gives, if even if she would have said, I'll just leave you in there for 5 minutes. Well, they already know that it was longer than 5 minutes because of the videos. And he was moving around in them with 11 minutes apart between two of them. So, yeah, I mean, it adds on. Every single thing adds on a little bit more. And there's another piece that I had heard as well in Brian's interview that gives something else to think about when it comes to the timeline and perhaps how long she was awake. So we'll get to that too.
Oh, okay, interesting. Because I haven't listened to Brian's interview yet.
Yes, yes. See, you're going to be shocked.
Shocked.
Yes.
You didn't go upstairs?
Again, there was a hole in a suitcase. I unzipped it from the hole with one finger.
Well, the damn hole didn't do him no good, did it?
But he could push it open.
No, he
Did he?
couldn't. The video
No.
shows him pushing up.
And
If he could push it open, why wouldn't he have gotten out himself? Why would he beg you to open it?
I tell
Okay.
you, he can't breathe.
Okay.
If
I-
someone
I-
can do something for themselves, they're going to do it. They don't need assistance unless they need assistance.
So, but why would he start doing it?
Because he couldn't, because it was all the way zipped.
Okay.
Didn't see it.
It wasn't. I intentionally didn't do it. That I intentionally did not do.
What's that? You didn't intentionally do what?
Zip it all the way. He nor I.
Well, he's dead as a result
Laid
of
hands
your action.
on each other.
He is dead as a result of
I
your
understand
action.
that.
So,
That's why
You
this.
two didn't lay hands on each other.
No. No. I don't have anything.
You're right.
He doesn't. Whatever that is, whatever it
He
is.
does.
See, this is what happens. It's not fair that you guys, just because he has those, automatically blame it on me. Like,
well,
Where
what
else
about
did he
when
go?
you had your injuries and he gets arrested? Is that not fair?
really?
How dare you? How dare you, ma'am?
Really? Well, in that case, I was the victim.
Yeah.
No.
It's not fair.
I mean, she said, it's not fair that you assume those injuries were caused by me when I've already told you that we were the only two in the house together and I was the only one who was with him all day the day he died.
Right.
It is not fair that you're just going to assume that I caused those.
Yeah, and they weren't old. So the medical examiner was able to say they weren't old. You know, it was something that happened very recently, like right before he died.
Well, they could be self-inflicted. He could have punched himself in the face while he was squished up in a suitcase.
That is true. Yep, he could have done that. And since he's notorious for running into walls, maybe he did that going backwards so that he hit the back and the side of his head.
Yeah, don't assume.
Don't assume you weren't there. Yeah, exactly. She's so offended by these questions. Yeah.
Really,
And I like when
amazing.
she'll, oh, sorry, real quick. I like when she'll repeat herself for emphasis. Like she just did it. She was like, him nor me,
Yes.
laid a hand on each other.
Yeah. And she'll get louder sometimes. This is horrific. Horrific. Horrific.
Yeah, she really starts to raise her voice with the investigators there, and then you can like hear her kind of catch herself and like, okay, maybe this isn't the best place to get in a screaming match, but she starts, and you can tell that that's kind of her go-to, is to escalate like that.
It definitely is. Yes.
Really?
He has injuries. You have injuries. Like, what does that mean?
I don't have any injuries.
Correct.
Because
So
he
nothing
and I
happened to
have
you.
not been at it with one another.
So every time that you guys fight, you both hit each other? So you should have probably
No.
gone to jail all those times that he went to
No.
jail for domestic?
Well, the one time I did. But he completely trashed the police report. Because that's nothing what happened. Because the reason why I got taken in was because my story was different than his. So I'm being portrayed as like this abuser.
We're not saying that he doesn't abuse you.
Absolutely.
We're not saying.
So I'm the one that's being portrayed as the abuser.
Because he
I have never dealt with anything like this before. I don't know what to do, how to do it, and I always know what to do and how to do it. This, I don't know. So I don't know, like, what's going on or, like...
We are simply trying to find out as well. Again, we got one side of the story. You're telling us, we're going with what you're saying, but then we find stuff that negates what you're telling us.
And I don't even remember doing that.
Okay. You're telling us that we're assuming stuff, but what we're simply doing is telling you what we saw in the video and
I
repeating what
understand.
you told us.
I understand. Because I don't remember that.
Okay? Doesn't mean it didn't happen just because you don't remember it.
So is the texting thing something about me? Like, what's...
The what? Texting? Oh, no, I'm texting.
So,
You guys are scaring me, so, like, I don't...
She thinks they're texting each other back and
I
forth
know,
about
that's
her.
fascinating. Is that texting about me? So what if it is? What are you going to do? Demand to see it? I mean,
Yeah.
you're in the middle
She
of an interrogation. Is that really important?
I don't think she thinks this is an interrogation. I know that she is nervous because obviously she just said, you guys are scaring me.
Mm-hmm.
But she sees her as herself as being there willingly, and she's helping. She's helping him, right? She said it at the beginning. I always help him. I'm helping him now. So I think that she believes that she's not under arrest. Well, she hasn't been yet, but she's not being detained either. So even though she's been read the Miranda warning several times so far, since the day before, she's not really thinking that she's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't know what they're thinking because they're not going along with everything that she's saying. They're not buying it. They
Right.
keep pushing it back at her. And in her words, assuming you guys are putting this all on me. She knows that he's dead because of her actions. She even said that. She agreed.
Mm-hmm.
but but they're not understanding the situation, and that's what she's trying to get them to understand desperately. And now she's trying to read the situation so that she can control it. I think she feels that it's starting to get out of control.
Yeah, I think the video from her phone really scared her, because up until that point, how are they going to prove that it wasn't an accident?
Exactly.
And that's what she was trying to say. It was just an accident, and we had a great day, and blah, blah, blah. And then that video proves otherwise, quite literally proves otherwise, and it was intentional and malicious. So now she's scared.
Yeah.
And it's not fair.
It's not nice either.
I don't know, like, what to expect. I mean, I had questions of things that need to be taken care of. Like, I don't.
What are your questions?
I have one last question. You realize you're the person that killed him, right?
I thought about that.
Okay, you left him in a bag when he's begging you, saying, I can't breathe, let me out, and you said, fuck you. And you got up off the couch and went upstairs and left him in that bag.
Not intentionally.
Again,
I would never do that to George.
you did.
Not
It happened.
intentionally. Know that.
I don't.
Know that.
You got up and you went up to bed.
Alcohol is a shitty thing. It's alcohol.
So
Not,
alcohol
again.
is the reason that you killed him?
You all,
Please sit down.
listen to me.
Please sit down.
You all, listen. I did not intentionally kill him.
So your intention.
I don't know what it is I need to
punish
do
him?
or how to do it or what to say or how to say it.
But what was your intention?
Everyone knows. Everyone knows everything that I've done for George and love him and continuously helped him throughout his life with me and made him a happier, better person.
And everybody has their limits.
Everyone knows that.
Everybody has their limits.
So it's like, okay, so while we're in a good place right now, I'm going to snap? Is that what it, while we're in a good place right now?
You did.
Yes. Absolutely. I got you on video screaming, fuck you.
This is what it feels like when you're choking me. This is what it feels like.
Which was however long ago.
You said
The
it.
video was from last night.
Clearly,
So it wasn't
Still
that,
inside you.
yeah.
there's still feelings towards it. You wouldn't say it if you didn't feel it.
But I would never do that.
But it happened, and you did.
But you
But
did.
that's after being playful
But no one's
and
laughing.
having a good day.
No one's laughing except you.
I would hate to
Everybody's
see
having
a
a
bad
good day. Oh, I'm sorry?
I would hate to see a bad day.
Y'all are making me out to be a person that I'm not. Or will I ever be.
Or are you a different person when you're drunk?
People have different personalities after they consume alcohol.
It depends. Well,
Because you're sober now,
Yeah.
so sober you.
Nice
Well, what
person,
about drunk
easy
you?
going.
not, it's both of us. It's both of us. And it's not fair that you all are assuming that the marks that he has on him are from me.
We asked you where they came from.
I have no idea.
Well, nobody else was there, so nobody else was
I
there.
have no idea. I swear I did not lay a hand on him,
Okay. You just zipped them in the bag.
nor he.
You just zipped them in the bag. And then you flipped the bag around several times.
I didn't do that intentionally.
You didn't intentionally flip the bag around?
No, why would I do that?
Well, you
Good
told us
question,
you
you
did.
did.
When he was upside down.
Right.
Well, you had to put them upside down.
You can't get in a suitcase upside down
Yeah.
because the
Oh my
When
gosh.
you put the
See,
stuff
and that's the
in where his
unfortunate.
body was?
That's the unfortunate
Was
thing
upside
too, is
down.
nobody else was there. That's the
We have a
unfortunate
video
thing.
showing the suitcase in several different positions. So it shows, one, like she just said, it had to have been on its back with the lid open for him to get in there, for you to zip it up. Then it shows it on the other side with him in it, so you had to flip it to there. Then there's another video where it's on his back again, so you had to flip it to
I'm
there.
leaving it like this, please. I'm leaving it like this. I did not intentionally do this. No malicious content or effort was towards this. No malicious.
I would
I'm
say
pointing
this
at
does
the
help
video.
you sleep, but you're not sleeping, so.
I mean,
Last night,
The-
I
the-
maybe got an hour.
Right.
In your voice, you can hear the maliciousness. The fuck you is very, very,
You don't talk to people
Obvious.
like that. That's not like a common, like,
no,
hey, Scott, fuck you.
thank you.
That's not common. It's not something people do. And no one that sees that is going to think that.
Okay.
So we were trying to give you an opportunity, and it is what it is.
There's no maliciousness towards
Okay.
that.
I would probably be telling myself that too after that video.
My intent was not for that to happen.
But you went upstairs and went to bed. Or maybe you passed out, I don't know. Whichever.
Waiting for him. Frame thing. It's like, it's
Regardless.
That's not really fair.
Regardless, waiting for him, it's not like you walked up the stairs. You can't fly up the stairs. No one can take you up the stairs.
Okay.
You go up the stairs, you lay in the bed, and you wait for him. Who cares if it's 5 minutes? Who cares if it's 30 freaking seconds? He's begging for his life. He's begging to get out. You go upstairs.
You leave them.
It doesn't matter. So get the time frame out of your mind. It
This
doesn't
whole
matter.
thing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's this. So it doesn't matter anything what it is I say. So it makes no difference whatsoever.
It's just you're lying and like you're now changing
Who's
your
lying
story.
about what?
You're now you're drunk.
Oh, I never said that I was drunk.
Exactly, but you did here today. That's okay.
You said earlier.
Everything recorded.
Alcohol.
You blamed it on the alcohol.
You blamed it on the alcohol. Alcohol does a lot to people.
Yes, but I never said I was drunk.
Okay.
You did.
So you did this sober. You knowingly left him down there sober.
I have already told both of you also that we were both drinking.
Right.
Okay.
But you want to admit that you were drunk? Is that?
I'm telling you all both. This has changed my life. I will take this. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a true statement.
Absolutely.
Okay, this has changed her life. Let's let her go.
Yes.
It's not fair. We're assuming.
It's been punishment enough. She's vomiting constantly. She's not
She only slept for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
That's
going to
not
change
even
her
healthy.
entire life. She has so much going on in her life, and now this.
It's really too bad.
It is too bad. Yeah.
I think she said she had no malicious content instead of intent,
She did.
which made me laugh. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But I liked it when she said, I'm leaving it like this, okay? I did not do this intentionally. Like, no more questions. We're just going to end it right there.
Yeah.
That's all. Which she could do. All she has to do is say, I want a lawyer. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Or just, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Right.
And then, of course, they'd be like, cool, well, you're going to jail.
Right.
But I don't know where she gets off thinking that they're going to be like, oh, okay, leave it at that, I guess. No more questions.
Yeah, she's
We
telling
just know,
you.
'cause Sarah said. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, then she's like, there's nothing I can say now after this. Like, I wasn't watching the video, but I'm assuming she was pointing to the laptop. Like, after this video, there's nothing I can say for you to believe me. Yeah, because you can lie. The video does not.
Right.
The video shows what happened.
Exactly. Well, just like Vap said, she's being blamed for killing a guy that she killed. She has a right to be angry. I would be angry too. I would be angry too.
I know. I love her false outrage. Like, how dare you assume I was drinking? I told you I was drinking, and I'll never drink again. And alcohol is a shitty thing. It's alcohol.
But she wasn't drunk, though.
And don't you dare suggest she was.
Don't you dare, no. Or assume that she did this intentionally. That she walked up those stairs intentionally.
It was completely unintentional. Her
Completely.
going upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did not do that intentionally.
In no way, shape, or form did she do it intentionally. How exhausting for these these detectives.
No, absolutely. I mean, of course they deal with this all the time. right? Who walks in there and just tells them the truth? I'm sure that's a pretty rare thing. And
Yes.
I mean, but this, to have video evidence, to already know what happened to him. They already have the autopsy back. They see the injuries that he has. In fact, the medical examiner said that she was going to hold his body for another day and see what else developed. So even though a person who's deceased can't get bruised anymore, like once their heart stops beating, they can't get bruised. But when their body is going through changes after death, then those types of injuries can become more pronounced. So I think that she's looking for, maybe if there's something else that she doesn't see exactly right at that time, there could be other things, you know, that will be coming to the surface.
Yeah, they could also be hidden by, because we don't know how he was found, like in what position, I don't think. But if he was face down, like the blood is all going to pool to his face.
Right, yes.
Which would cause discoloration, I'm sure.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. But I would assume that once you lay him flat on his back, then, and that blood like drains, that's already pooled. If it does, I don't know. Actually, I might just be talking shit,
there's
so
going to
never
be
mind.
pooling from gravity. Arr! Amanda James is having our dogs scream. But yeah, there's pooling of the blood, and she also mentioned that he was purple, and they were explaining to her that that's what happens after death, that there's pooling of the blood.
But you're trying to dance around the fact that
So,
you
but what
did
are you,
leave them
okay,
there.
just,
You left them in there. You're trying to
Oh my
dance around the
gosh,
fact
this
that
is-
you left them in there.
this is not,
You didn't leave him in there?
it's not cool. Like, this is not cool.
It's not cool.
That it's,
He's dead. It's
but
not
you
cool.
think that I did that intentionally. You think that I did that intentionally.
You intentionally left him in there and left the room. You went upstairs to a different room.
You intentionally did that.
You did.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking he's gonna get out.
Okay, and he didn't.
Obviously not.
When somebody's begging, saying, I
But
can't
when you
breathe.
say that though, but you have to, y'all
Please let me out. I can't
y'all
breathe.
don't know George though. Like, again, I thought it was the boy crying wolf. So it's just like, what?
Oh, so if your son was in there and said, I can't breathe, are you going to open it, or is he 9, so he's not, you know?
Really?
It's not a big deal. I'm just valid question.
Well, you said you would never put your son in a suitcase. You would only put George in there.
No, George got in a suitcase.
And you zipped it up.
Not all the way and not intentionally to leave him there.
But that's what happened. You keep going away from it.
I don't know.
That's exactly what happened. You went up to bed and woke up the next day.
Are you all trying to have me admit that? Like, are you trying to have me admit that? Because I will never admit it because it's not true. It's not true.
I'm basically stating as a fact because that's what happened.
Okay.
You videotaped him asking to be let out. You go upstairs.
So what, guys? So what? Like, just, I don't know what you want me to say other than it was not out of maliciousness or intentional. I don't know what or how I can say it. I love George. Love him. To this day still. Love him.
Love makes you do crazy things.
It doesn't do, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh gosh, you know what, I've done enough for you at this point. I never gave up on him.
Okay.
Why I'm here today, I'm still not giving up on him. I would do anything for him.
Well, you gave up checking up on him. So.
Wouldn't let him out of a suitcase.
Oh gosh.
I love that too.
I missed the last part. Yeah, you do anything for him except let him out of the goddamn suitcase.
Right, that's what they were saying. Well, you gave up checking on him. And she's like, oh my God.
Yeah, after he was begging her to let him out, saying he couldn't breathe.
I know.
How are you going to sit there and say that? I would do anything for him. I love him so much. I would never hurt him. When you just listen to yourself telling him fuck you when he's begging for his life.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So then explain. Explain also, how is it that you're helping him to this day? How are you helping him?
Mhm.
You're not providing them with any information that they don't know. You know, this wasn't a situation where no one heard anything, or she came home, she had an alibi, she was with Brian and her son. She comes home, doesn't know where George is. Then later on in the following morning, she goes to move the suitcase and she's like, "Oh my God." And she found it, but she has no idea what happened. In that situation, you could say she would be helping him, right? Giving any idea, like, was he fighting with anybody? Does he have any known enemies? Who was he supposed to see that night? Was there anybody coming over? Like, any information that she could have provided would have been helping. But not in this situation where it's clear that she's the one who put him in there. She's the one who zipped it up. She's the one who was taunting him while he was in there and suffering. And she knew that he was suffering. And she was laughing about it. And that's what she liked. She liked that he was suffering. "That's my name. Don't wear it out." After he's begging for her to help him.
Right. All she's done in this interview is talk about what a piece of shit he is or was, and how much she had to help him, how great she is for all the things she has done for him.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
We're simply just trying to go through, I mean, again, you gave us a completely different story that you churched up to. This was such a laughing matter.
It was fun.
Not by that
All
video.
day, all
Not
day.
by that video, that
All
part
day.
wasn't. Anybody looking at it doesn't, I don't think anybody would look at that video and go, "George is having fun right now."
So why is it you all think that y'all don't know me, you don't know me,
Nope.
would do something like that, especially having a 9-year-old son?
I don't know.
Like,
what
why-
having a 9-year-old son would be.
Like,
Why are you so like caught on what we think
Yeah.
when
because
you should be
it's
more
like
concerned about what you've told us?
It's because
and
what you guys
The
are
fact
like
that George
trying.
is dead.
The things that the video shows that are opposite of what you told us, and then what you've now
Like,
told
what
us
is
here
opposite?
today. Well, you said that it was funny, and you're the only one laughing.
We were playing before that.
Okay.
But then it stops.
Yeah.
It obviously stops being fun.
Well, I
Because you're screaming at him, he's
am
begging
not
to get
screaming
out.
at him.
Sounds like screaming to me.
I don't know what you all want me to tell you. In no way, shape, or form was this intentional. At all. Ever.
Okay. Are you still gonna allow us to do your fingernails?
Go for it.
Go for it. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna get that set up. Do you need any more water?
No, but when you come back and I ask about this,
Yeah.
so what?
Just don't understand.
So it
I don't
wasn't.
understand how your story changes so much to the
How
fact
is
that.
it changing? Please help me explain, understand.
You went on about how this was such a playful thing and you guys were laughing, and it probably was for a few minutes, but then it obviously changes. The whole demeanor of this whole situation completely changes. It's not the funny, laughing matter. He's not laughing at all.
I didn't think he was being serious.
You absolutely sound serious.
I
When you're
didn't think
answering
so.
that.
Like, just,
You don't think your voice, you sounded serious?
it's, okay. I don't know what you want me to tell you. It was a great day.
Okay.
It didn't end well, obviously.
I was going to say, that's, I mean.
I can't explain to you. I can't explain to you how horrific it was
Okay.
to find him. Horrific. Because I don't remember taking those videos.
Okay.
How horrific. I'm thinking he's in the bathroom. I'm thinking he's downstairs in the laptop. I can't find him. So what's going to happen? Like,
Here's what gets me though, is you don't remember taking videos, you don't know where he is, you don't remember him being in the suitcase. and you're still telling me that you had your wits about you.
How
does someone have their wits about them when
See, that's the
they
thing
have all
too.
this
But
stuff?
you can clearly tell that I had been drinking some. You can clearly tell.
I had several people.
That's a really good question, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't remember taking the video, that's completely news to you, you know, that ever happened, then how can she remember her intention when going upstairs to go to bed? Or how can she remember that she didn't hit him? Or do it? Like, if she blacked out to the point where she's going to film 2 videos 11 minutes apart, then how can she so confidently say she knows they didn't get into a fight, she didn't lay a hand on him, blah, blah, blah?
Well, because even though she doesn't remember, she still had her wits about her. You know what I mean? That's basically...
Yeah, you can tell she'd been drinking.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about that, too, is she said some bottles of wine, maybe? She sounded wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she? I mean, she sounded
did.
wrecked. Yeah.
And she admitted she didn't remember taking those videos.
Right.
That's a blackout. How do you get blackout drunk without being drunk?
I don't know.
Those are the questions. I mean, and we know what they would say if they tried to pin her down with that, like answer those questions. She'd say, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know. She just skirts around answering very simple questions,
Mm-hmm.
very logical questions, and she'll just say it's not fair, which is really frustrating. Like, answer the question.
It's almost as if she's getting so many opportunities for an out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but of course, what her expectation is that she's going to walk out of there today.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to walk out by her saying, I didn't mean to do it. It wasn't intentional. I know that he's dead. I put him in there, but I didn't kill him because I wanted to kill him. Right? That's basically what she's trying to say. Like, you guys weren't there. I know that you see the videos and everything, but outside of those videos, you guys weren't there. We were having a really great night.
Mm-hmm.
So you tell me what my motivation would be. Because remember at the beginning, she basically said that. When they're saying, well, what happened? You tell me.
Tell me and we'll both know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The only time that you see any type of emotion from her is when she's getting angry and frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that she's not just believed. Oh, okay. You didn't mean to walk upstairs. You thought that he could get out. Okay, Sarah. Well, that's good enough. I understand. You're telling us that you used to get straight A's in school. You're saying you don't have a problem with alcohol. You're saying that you are exceptional at everything. And also, you have a 9-year-old son.
Yeah, people who have children never commit crimes.
Absolutely not.
Ever.
No, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, she doesn't, I don't know. It's so strange to me that she has no emotion at all when it comes to him.
Yeah, the only time I've seen her, or we've seen her get emotional, is when she's talking about herself and feeling bad for herself. Like, she was crying when, or appearing to cry, or trying to appear to cry when they were talking about how much, or she was talking about how much she's done for George and how much she's helped him. And then in the beginning, the detectives were saying, well, you know, just because you love him, like, there are boundaries as far as with him abusing her. And she's like, everybody tells me that, but I always take him back because I want to help him.
Yeah.
That's the only time it's when it's about her. Or about how horrific it was to find him, which I'm sure it was.
Of course, yes.
I'm sure it was absolutely gruesome.
Yeah.
To find a corpse with his, whether you know them or not.
Yes.
A purple man in a suitcase all crunched up. That's going to be horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But that's what she says. There's a moment where she said, I miss him to this day. It's been a day. What do you mean?
Right, right, exactly. It's been a day. And I don't know, she doesn't have, I don't know.
No, I agree. She doesn't show any grief over his death.
That's exactly it. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any grief at all. I mean, and especially with it being the very next day.
Yeah.
You know, it would seem like it would be still be so raw, you know, at that time. If something happened like that, it would feel like a nightmare. You know, it would be difficult to even get through any of this, you know, because of that.
Yeah, definitely. Describing the events of the day, remembering, absolutely.
Came up to me in that apartment complex, said that you were drunk on a daily basis.
Oh my gosh. Right.
Regularly.
Right.
Really?
Right. Talk to the property manager. Talk to the property manager.
Okay.
Because it's not.
These are your neighbors, the one that live next to you. Your property manager does not live next to you. They see you every day. How many? You had two neighbors you went to and asked to go use the restroom.
That's just not fair.
No. Hold on. You had two different neighbors that lived directly next to you. You asked to use the restroom, and they told you no and turned you away. You had to go across the way to somebody else.
No, okay. Kim?
You're going to believe those people? Let me tell you about those people, okay?
Yeah,
the neighbors.
It's good when she
she starts giving
snitch on the neighbors.
Yeah, she tries to snitch on the neighbors.
Spoilers,
Eli.
but I think she even says, like, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but.
Yeah, but, yeah. And you didn't hear this from me, but I'm going to tell you. Yeah.
Kim is not a nice person. Okay. She's just automatically not nice. Even after me and Lucas went over there and introduced ourselves, she's just not a nice person.
Then why would you think she would let you use a restroom?
Because Eli was in there. Eli comes over and talks to us sometimes, which I think pisses Kim off because he comes over and talks to us. The two of them, they're like super standoffish all the time. My neighbors down the street, down the way, their toilet was broken. They had stuff in the bathroom. So then they're like, go over there and try over there.
There's two bathrooms.
I wouldn't let somebody go upstairs and use my personal bathroom. That's what the downstairs one is for. If
it's somebody you like, would you? Or somebody you knew?
They're in the process of doing all this stuff in the kitchen. And there's stuff in the bathroom and the toilet doesn't work. Just walk across the way. No problem. And of course they let me in. Them and them, they're together. They're families. And nonetheless, if you really want to know, and I hope it doesn't get them in trouble, but he is over here illegally. So he's...
Oh my God. Well, stop everything.
I hope it doesn't get them in trouble. But I'm going to tell the police that he's over here illegally. Now, obviously, these detectives don't give a shit about any of that. They're dealing with Sarah. Why even say that?
Because she's trying to discredit them. She's trying to say, the only reason why people wouldn't let me into their places to use the bathroom is because they aren't nice people. They're very standoffish. And one of them's here illegally.
I wonder why they're standoffish. I wonder it's because she is a notorious drunk in their neighborhood.
Right.
And they don't want to deal with her nonsense.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
No, they're just not nice. And they're illegal.
Right, exactly.
Trying to work on getting his green card.
What does that have to do with you using the restroom?
They didn't want to be involved.
No, I was asking last night because, we had several different people in the neighborhood come up saying that she was drunk on a regular basis.
Eli and Kim. Okay. Did you ask Vinny next door?
Those are the ones next door that she asked to use the restroom, and they said no.
No, she said no. Okay. And like I said, she's not a nice person.
They're coming. What are your questions?
Yep.
I can help you with.
Who's coming?
To do the fingernails.
Yeah, you said that we could.
And you don't have to allow us to do it, just so you know. So don't think that it's...
I don't have a problem.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
So, am I getting my phone back?
No.
Not today.
What about Lucas's laptop?
No.
Not today.
Not today.
What does that mean?
We're still going through everything.
Oh, that's fine.
You're the one just telling us there's videos that we need to see on it, so we need
That's
to do
fine.
our due diligence that we go through everything.
See, and that backfires on me now too, because now you all think that I had even more, in quotes, intent to do what I did to him, which was not intentional.
What's that?
In that, is that correct?
She's asking about your tag in your hand.
No, but I'm asking if that's correct.
No, I'm not gonna
I'm not
agree to
making
anything that
assumptions.
you're saying. I'm not, that you're,
So his probation officer,
mm-hmm.
do you all inform her or do I need to call her?
We don't have to inform her, so if you would like to call her, you can. Are you saying because he's still on probation?
No, but because of the nice lady that she is and all that she's done for him, I didn't know how it was.
Legally, we just have to tell his parents, and we don't go telling,
Everybody else?
I didn't even know who his probation officer was, so no, I wouldn't go tell
So
him.
the same thing for classes. I need to do that too.
They don't care, Sarah.
You do what?
Substance abuse class and his battery
They cancel them?
intervention.
Yeah, we
Something
don't
else I
have
was
to
just
call
getting ready to
him.
ask. So, other than this, so initially, what was the cause of death?
She is still pending because she wants to hold the body for an additional day to see if more of those bruises turn into something bigger. And she's doing some other tests that she's got to do. So she's pending it for now.
So, and that couldn't have been because of him being in the suitcase? Or
That's
y'all
her-
are saying
she-
that I
that's what-
physically did it?
That's what she's determining.
So,
The ones on the head, I asked her, could that have been from the suitcase, and she said she didn't think so.
I didn't touch him, nor did he touch me.
Okay.
I'm leaving it at that.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you all know how to do this, because so that's what I was gonna get ready to ask you. So, are you all updating his parents today, or when you get final whatevers?
What does it matter what we tell his parents? What do you mean?
Because
We're gonna talk with them.
Yeah.
Because they may say something about her that isn't fair or isn't nice. And she's not going to be there to argue against it.
Yeah, they're not nice people. Don't listen to them. And they don't like her because she's white anyway.
Yeah, she's a white dragon.
White dragon devil, exactly. It's really interesting though that sorry, she's like, okay, you all have asked your questions, now it's my turn. I have equally important questions to ask. I'm in control here.
Yes.
First of all, who informs his probation officer? Because she's a nice lady, and she deserves to know. Okay, you guys don't go and tell everyone George has ever known that he's dead? Okay, I guess I have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
How about his class? I guess I have to do that too. Like,
Right.
they don't care. They made it clear. Legally, they only have to inform his family.
Right.
That's all.
Yes.
They're not going to reach out to everyone else. And tell the questions she asks are unimportant to the detectives, I would say. Like they don't care. She's going to go and ask about her engagement ring too, and they're like, we don't care. Take it up with
Yeah.
someone else.
Right.
okay,
I have to
but it's
tell-
gonna come down to me.
What do you mean?
Like, so it's being put on me.
Who said that?
But I'm not, so what is it you would tell them?
We're gonna give them an update, just like we gave you an update on their autopsy.
Okay, so it's whatever
Well,
bruise,
here's
scratch,
the thing,
and
here's the thing.
whatever on the head.
We had to deliver news to them last night that their son was dead. There's not a whole lot of conversation that goes on after that. It's not a very easy thing to do.
Was it yesterday or Sunday? Sunday. Today's Tuesday, right?
Did we not meet you yesterday? We met you yesterday.
She's sick of the attitude. Sarah.
Yeah. It's not fair.
No.
I'm just asking. Right? Did we not meet yesterday?
It's a valid question.
Really? Yes, on Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Perfect.
So I don't know if I ask you guys or how I find this out other than talking to his parents, which is not gonna happen.
Yeah, probably a terrible idea.
How do you guys suggest me finding out about funeral?
That's not even something that's been probably talked about between the family. That's not something we ask. We have no way of,
I didn't know, that's why I'm asking.
It'll
So,
be up to them to make the arrangements of what they want to do. Like she just told you this quick, just being told last night, I'll pretty much be willing to wager that they have not even considered what they're gonna do.
My body can't even be released,
No.
so.
I've been there with parents, grandparents, and uncles. So, I don't know if I have the right to or not, but like I was gonna call his former employees whom he really cared for and let them know.
You can call whoever you want.
I just don't wanna do something that I'm not supposed to. How do I go about getting his?
Why would she not be allowed to call people and tell them that George died? Like
I don't know.
logically, I don't think she was actually looking for the answer to that question because that's a stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like she's just compulsively asking questions to give herself the feeling of being in control, or maybe to give the illusion of being in control, or maybe both.
Or maybe
but
that
these
she
questions-
cares.
Yeah, possibly. It's just very strange, like her asking the detectives about the funeral. He died yesterday.
Right.
Like,
Right.
who would have time to plan that and put it all together yet? Nobody. Like, just logically. And the detectives aren't going to know that. They're not going to the funeral.
No. And I mean, why would she want to go as well?
Oh, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially, well, so she can play the victim and cry, and hopefully people will tell her
Yeah, but
how great she was and how much she helped George, and definitely didn't mean to kill him, and they know that.
yeah, she wanted to pull a Jody and show up.
Yeah, Jody went to. Did Jody go to the memorial or the funeral?
I think that she went to, I want to say the memorial.
Yeah, I think so.
She had tried to go to the funeral, I think, but she got a flat tire on the way or to the airport or something like that. So,
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Wedding ring, engagement ring.
Oh, golly.
At the medical examiner's office, it'll come to us eventually, and then we
It'll
can.
be released to
Oh,
the
Tuesday.
next of kin.
Yeah, okay.
I bought it for him.
That is a civil issue. It was on his finger, it goes to them, they're the ones that are gonna release it, we don't have any say in that.
So I won't get that back.
Yeah, but that's not fair. I bought it from him. It's legally mine.
Right. Who cares?
Right. These people that she's talking to certainly do not care.
Yeah.
There's not a question for them. Nobody cares. I understand maybe Sarah would care, I guess, but if somebody that I loved very, very much died, I would not care about their engagement ring at the moment, or who it's going to go to, how I'm going to get it. I wouldn't care at all. Certainly not if I'm being accused of the crime, or if I was responsible
Right.
for it.
Yeah. And she's making it seem like, well, I bought it, so it's mine, actually.
Yeah, I bought it from him, and that's the law. It's mine.
Right. Yeah.
And you guys are police officers, so do your fucking job.
Yeah,
okay?
right, exactly. Yeah.
So for all of this, like, how do I find out what's what and how many, like, what's been found?
What do you mean?
Pillow with stain, swabs of stain from pillow, suitcase.
That will all be sent off to
FDLE?
FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement. They do their testing.
So, and then like whatever white can with blood and necktie with blood was from the suitcase.
Correct.
Why would you guys, oh, you'll see it in there, the baseball bat for Lucas. And the receipts. And this is just his phone, my phone, and then the laptop.
Yeah, when anything can be released, we will release it, but we are very early in this investigation, and it's not an overnight process, unfortunately.
So, what's next?
They're gonna come and swab your fingers.
No, I'm talking about, like, in the long run. Like, what do I need to, like, do I need to be doing something, or, like...
I can't tell you, like, what to do.
I mean, like, so, like, for... Like, I don't understand, like, I don't know if you guys are just gonna, like... Because it makes it sound like, to me, like, I'm being accused of something that was not intentional. I'm being accused of it.
Mm-hmm.
And a handful of other things that I'm being accused of.
Okay.
So I don't want to be...
What are the handful of other things? The other injuries?
Yeah, I think that's probably
Okay.
what she was talking about. Beating him
Yeah,
up
home.
and shoving him in a suitcase and refusing to let him out, which
Yeah.
is what happened.
Yeah, and also accusing her of going upstairs intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But she's just
With-
beating around the bush here. Like, just ask, she wants them to say it. She doesn't want to come out and say, am I going to be arrested?
Yes.
And that's what she's getting at, and it's very obvious.
What do I have to, like, plan for, like, in the long run, like, you know?
Like, freedom-wise.
Yeah, freedom-wise. Where am I going to be living? Ooh, 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 ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it when they ask, should I, like, get a lawyer after they completely incriminated themselves and
I
spent
know.
hours talking to police?
I know, yeah. So am I in trouble here?
Yeah, should I be getting a lawyer? Yeah, the cops are going to say, yes, you should get legal representation and you shouldn't talk to us. Of course, they're going to say, we can't tell you. We
Right.
can't tell you what to do. But what do you expect?
Well, I mean, they warned her before. It's in the warning. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right
Yeah,
to
but it's
an
just a
attorney.
formality.
Yes, it's
Miranda
just
warning.
Yes.
Being advised of your rights is just a formality. You don't have to pay close attention to that.
No, we say this to everybody. And
Everybody
actually,
we talk to.
yeah, I think that she alluded to that as well when it all started. This is just, normal procedure, right? And we're like,
Yeah, she did say that.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Well, it is, yes.
It is,
When we
yes.
talk to a suspect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lucas.
But I think
when
I
you guys show up.
understand. Sorry, do they have to Mirandize you if you're not being detained or if you're free to go?
Well, they're asking questions. Because they're asking her questions specifically about this, then they have to. Because if they didn't, and she was going on and on about this, and say she had said, actually, I was really pissed off, and he deserved it. At the end of the day, he really deserved it after everything that he's put me through. They wouldn't be able to use that.
Right.
Because they didn't properly warn her. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But having said that, I do think that they already knew that she wasn't going home that day. Simply based on the video evidence, that they had. Yeah.
That I would think would be definitely, well, it was enough to arrest her on.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We're still investigating. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
so is there going to be concrete whatever it is, and then it's like, okay, this is what it is kind of thing? Or like, because I've done the whole court thing. I've done the whole attorney thing. I've done whatever. So if I'm not admitting anything about being intentional and I killed George, that's not the situation, but it's trying to be pinned on me.
Okay.
That was not my intent. But it's trying to be pinned on me. So however or whatever it is I need to do in order for that to be proven, then I need to do so, which is why I'm trying to get my ducks in a row.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking what the next step is other than me getting my nails swabbed.
I mean, you want me to tell you how to not be accused of a crime? Is that what you're asking? Like, I don't know what you
I'm
want.
trying to prepare myself for whatever may need to be done so I can, I
I
guess,
wouldn't-
stick up for myself.
I mean, I think you're doing just fine. You came, you talked.
I just don't want you guys to, again, show up and Lucas is in the house.
Yeah, I bet you don't.
Well, we did.
But nobody wants to get arrested in front of their kid. Don't commit crimes, I guess. I mean,
Right.
what do you want? I love that too. So you want me to tell you how to not be accused of a crime?
Yeah. She knows what she's asking.
Yes, she does.
She knows exactly what she's asking.
She's
But
sassy.
yeah. Yeah. They're not ready to take her out of there yet. They still have to swab her fingers and everything.
Tell you yesterday that we don't want to do anything around your son, hence why you came to us. So I don't know why you think that's going to change.
That and or me not just show up back home.
I'm sorry, what? That or what?
Me just not show up back home. That's what, oh, he's so happy that I'm staying over at the house with Brian. Like, so happy.
You guys are going to ruin Lucas's life. And you're going to take away his happiness now that I'm back in that house with him and his dad. You're not going to make me not go back there, right? Because he's really happy.
Yeah, I don't want you showing up when Lucas is at the house, and I don't want to just like not go home one day. You know what that would do to him?
Yeah. Right.
Those
Not
are
go home one
bad.
day, like today, for example.
I just need to get my
And
ducks in a row because Lucas is counting on me to come home because she's such a great mother and she was always there with her
Oh, my
son before
goodness.
this.
I know.
I'm not going back to the house, to my house, for however long I can stay over here because of whatever to blow over.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you don't mind me asking, so for whatever it is you all are claiming from the videos, which, yeah, is that what you're going to tell them, like his parents? It's like, oh, yeah, and by the way, she did.
Did what?
I mean, what would you tell them?
I don't think it really matters what we're gonna tell the parents.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's fuel to the fire.
Well, we can't hide things, and I don't know, I'm not saying we're going to go, I'm not saying that we're going to go and tell them every single thing we have, but again, this is the Orange County Sheriff's Office, that's public record, so eventually, like, this all will come out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not,
It matters, honey.
you're making it sound like we're going to tell them something, so then your life is in danger, and I don't like that accusation.
No.
So let's just nip that in the butt right now.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
I cannot
But we can't
What are we gonna
choose.
tell them?
But we can't even, so technically there's no concrete report yet, even.
Right, so
So it's,
you want me to like
some
tell
sort
you
of
exactly what I'm
some
going to
sort
tell
of
them. I don't know what I'm
that
going to tell
did.
them. I don't know what I'm going to tell them. Let's just leave it at that. Just like you don't know why you went upstairs. I don't know what I'm going to tell them.
So,
Parents that are dealing with
Got her.
I know. She's had it with Sarah's bullshit.
Yes.
It's going to be super sassy.
Yeah. She's been over
I'll
it.
just leave it
for
at
a
that. I
long
love
time.
that she said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you don't know why
So
you went
Sarah's
upstairs.
Right. Sarah's saying, well, if this information becomes public, then my life's going to be in danger. So don't tell anybody that I committed this crime. It needs to be kept private for my own safety.
Yes.
Like, tough. First of all, you are not going to have to worry about that, Sarah. But that's just not how it works. You don't get privacy.
Mhm.
Like, people will be angry at you for a reason. You did something bad.
Mhm.
It's like saying, don't put me on the sex offender registry. It puts me in danger because people don't like
Right.
sex offenders.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to tell everybody that I'm on there.
So you better not. And Sarah, through this whole thing, has been very concerned with media coverage. It's just offended
Oh, yes.
that the media and the public knows what happened.
Well, just like at her hearing when she saw the cameras there. Can I ask them Who sent you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows that she's getting a ton of coverage. She knows that. But yeah.
Well, like, it's not all public record, especially in Florida, where Sarah is. Don't they have something, it's called like the Sunshine Law or something? I heard, I don't know if this is correct, and if I'm wrong, somebody's going to yell at me, but
Okay.
I heard that we always hear all these crazy stories out of Florida, so it appears that the people in Florida are just abnormal, but it's really just because it's very, very easy to get all this information about crimes in Florida.
I see. So it comes out a lot faster.
Right.
Maybe, yeah. So
yeah, it's just a lot easier to get all this stuff.
I do love a Florida man story. You know, as soon as a headline starts with Florida man, I'm like, oh yeah, what happened? It's going to be nuts.
They are always the most interesting, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I call you the way that I did last time?
Yeah, my phone is an open line. Maybe should be there. I don't know what's taking so long.
I get it. Look, I get it. That looks really bad. So that's what scares me. Like, what do I need to plan on? Like, what do I need to plan on? I promise you, on my son's life, it was not intentional. I promise you, on Lucas's life, it was not intentional.
I don't know you. I can't say I know anything about you. I don't know what would be a true statement, what would not. I mean, you're promising on your son's life, that's fine.
Yeah, but
That's
she
how
just
much it
swore
means.
on her son's life. Would she do that if she was lying?
No.
I don't think so.
No, of course
He
she
could
wouldn't.
die.
Yes.
He could drop dead right this minute.
And he would if she was lying. That's how that works. If you swear on the Bible, you will be stricken down if you lie. You can't do that.
Yeah, let this woman go home now.
Yeah. And she leans forward for emphasis too. Look in my eyes. Her eyes were probably wide open, staring.
Yes.
Staring at her.
That's how much that's how much it means.
Okay.
I hope you take that to heart. Please.
This detective is definitely very emotional, and that type of thing will have a major effect on her.
Yeah, you can tell.
You can definitely tell. Just she's so disinterested.
She's like, yeah.
She's been over it from the very beginning.
I know. I love her response too. I don't know you. I don't know what that. You might lie on your kid's life all the time. How the hell should I know? You're not moving me, bud.
And again, I'm sure she hears that all the time.
Yes,
I
sure she
swear to God, I would never. And then they're like, well, roll the footage. And there it is. Whatever they're saying they would never do is right there in front of them. Yeah.
And it's documented that you said that, yeah. I get it.
Do you have any idea when I can get my phone back?
No telling.
What do you say?
I just said no telling. I mean, our digital forensics unit is got a lot of cases on their plate. I mean.
Well, and that's not technically my laptop, it's Lucas's laptop.
Okay.
But you'll see all the games that he has on there.
As soon as we can get that back to Lucas, we will. As soon as we can release your phone, we will. But we have no way of being able to tell you because we don't have control over their caseload and how they arrange what they do. So I don't know.
It doesn't matter whose laptop it is. It's evidence.
Yeah, but it has all of Lucas's games on there. So again, not only are you possibly going to take away his mother, but you're going to take away his laptop with his games on it as well.
Yeah, you're gonna take away his Fortnite? God, you're evil.
Yes.
It's just funny she thinks that would matter. Oh, actually, it's not mine. It's Lucas's. So
Yeah,
Does
you
that change your
can't.
mind?
Yeah, you can't keep other people's things. That's stealing.
Right.
Anything else that's going on, that should probably be at the bottom of your list of worries.
I'm trying to make Lucas happy so he can have his laptop back.
Okay.
Did Brian not have a laptop for him?
He has his laptop that he has to do for work, that he doesn't want him using it or breaking or dropping. It's not a big deal. There's nothing on the laptop anyway. So you will keep me posted, like updated.
Mhm.
That's my thing, is I'm trying to figure out what I need to do in the meantime.
I don't know, I can't, like, I don't know what to tell you, though. Like, what?
But you all have more information than I do, where it's, yeah, you might wanna, or yeah, you might wanna.
I'm sorry, what?
Like, we have more information on what?
Like,
We told you everything that we have. You know everything that we know. And most of it we got from you.
but that, like I was telling her, like, yeah, that's bad, like, which I swore in my son's life was unintentional. So that's why I'm trying to figure out what I need to do for myself
Okay.
going forward with this. Nonetheless,
Just ask.
with his family.
Am I going to be arrested? Just come out and say it. They'll sit there and play this game all day with her.
Yeah.
Just to torture her, I think. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But maybe she doesn't, well, not that she doesn't want the answer, but maybe she's afraid if she asks, they're going to say, oh, yeah, we're going to arrest you right now, actually, now that you brought it up.
Right. We weren't going to, but that's actually a good idea.
Yes.
Good. Backfired on me again.
I know. Once again, she was 2 steps ahead of them. She has everything all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And are you all just showing up with Lucas now?
I think we've already both told you that we would be mindful of any situations.
So you guys, I guess you're gonna call me tomorrow? Or do we need to come back down here?
I'll chat with you next time. I have no idea when I'm gonna call you next.
Sue, this is the same game still. They know she's not leaving. I don't know when I'm going to have to call you. I'm probably not going to have to do that, actually. You know, so the next time that I talk to you will be in jail, you know, if you decide you want to talk to me or something like that.
Do you think that they aren't coming right out and telling her because they don't want, they just want to wait for, because has she already had her fingernails done?
No.
She did, right?
No, she hasn't.
Okay, so
They're still waiting.
That's what they're waiting for.
Yeah.
So you think they're just thinking she'll cooperate? If they tell her, yeah, you're going to jail after this, then they risk her being uncooperative or, doing something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're not telling her, or they're just being petty.
I think it is likely that they're not telling her because they still need to get that from her. What if she flew off the handle?
Right.
They don't know that if she starts being combative. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too.
Isn't the report coming out tomorrow?
No.
Our report.
I'm just saying a report is generated through us, and the sheriff's office is a public entity. So if someone were to come request something, then...
No, I'm talking about his autopsy.
She's waiting and doing more follow-up, but...
She's looking at him again tomorrow.
Yeah.
But she won't be finished with him because she's pending further stuff.
So after this, what? I'm done? For now?
In a way.
How long does this stuff take to get back? The
Most
DLE
of that
results?
you won't get back. The swabs and stuff will stay.
But I'll know about it?
Sorry. Our dispatch center keeps calling my phone. I keep having to have other people call them to see what they
About me? Are they calling about me? That's probably what she's thinking.
need.
I hope you all can really both truly understand that that was not my intent. I miss him a lot.
I mean,
No more.
but my question has remained the same. What do you expect to happen to somebody when you leave them in a position like that?
Yes, but you have to understand too, I know.
No, just what would you expect to happen to somebody when you leave them in a position?
I have no idea because I've never done it before.
Why have you ever done it before?
Why would I?
Exactly.
Why would I
did
do
you?
it before?
Why did you do it now?
I clearly have said why. Why?
No, you don't know
Never-
why. You
never-
just know that it's not intentional, but you don't know why. But that's okay.
Really?
I'm not trying to force you to say something that you don't know.
It's feeding and penning. The fact that you guys would assume that I'm that kind of person.
I'm not assuming anything. We're going by the facts. It happened.
Like you said, you don't know me. What time is it, please?
4:46.
Anyway.
In itself, for me to have to live with getting him out and doing what I did is punishment enough.
See?
Yeah.
Punishment enough. It's always punishment enough.
Unfortunately, you don't get to be the judge of that, though. You know? Like, and it's definitely not punishment enough.
Right. Right.
I think that's why I haven't slept. Because that's all I see. So that right there says something.
It says that she's suffering, so
not my intention.
Yeah.
This is my first ever texture. Well, that would be very random.
That would be funny.
They should just play the video during the silence. They should play the suitcase video.
She would have
Fuck
started
you.
to talk. Yeah, she would have started to talk, though. Definitely.
Mhm.
Yes.
Nonetheless, I have to live without him now.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yep.
Punishment in itself.
Keep saying
That's
it.
punishment in itself, and that's punishment. And not only did she have to find him, and that was horrific,
Mm-hmm.
she has to live without him now. What more does she deserve? I mean, that is bad enough.
It is bad enough. She's
And you should
suffering
actually-
clearly.
Right, you should feel bad for her.
Yeah. I don't think they do, though.
Because they're assuming,
Hmm.
and they're unfair.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a tragic situation.
I'm through with alcohol.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that stupid things like this happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
This is the man that she loved, by the way, just so that everybody can understand the stupid situation that she's talking about is the death of the man that she loved.
Yeah.
So.
Stupid stuff like this always happens when I drink.
I know, me too.
Nonetheless, I have to live without him now.
Mm-hmm. His daughters too.
Are you trying to make it worse?
Oh my God. That's the first time I've ever watched her body language and watched her visually. You know, I've listened to that, but I've never seen her reaction before. She turned to him in such disbelief. Are you trying to make it worse? How can you talk about somebody else's grief right now? I am the victim. You're trying to make it worse.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about that too is that she has talked about how his family hates her, how she's scared for her life because of the kids that live locally. She's afraid. But yet she's going to feel some type of a way that they're going to be without their father now.
Yeah, why would that be? He's just reminding her, yeah, you're not the only one who lost somebody you care about. These kids lost their dad.
Yeah. Yeah. And when she's talking about George's family finding out that he's dead, her focus is on, well, it's going to be pinned on me.
Mm-hmm.
Not the fact that they're just learning that George is dead and how much they will be grieving. And they're not worried about this engagement ring and funeral arrangements and all of these little logistical things. You know, they have to actually grieve. They're probably going through a lot. Because again, it's only been one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Are you trying to make it worse?
Make what worse?
How I feel?
Okay, Sarah.
Okay, so they did her fingers.
Oh, I thought that was immediately after. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
I
just
thought-
skipped over that.
I see. Okay. I thought the detective was like, okay, bitch, that's enough.
No, no, the technician came in and swapped her fingers, but nothing happened. She doesn't even talk, so just skipped over that.
So, you're not free to go. Okay. Oh, do you promise everything you told us was the truth? Or no? Everything we've talked about today?
Yes. What do you mean?
He asked to swear. Remember how I swore you yesterday on the audio recording? I just forgot, so he raised his hand to remind me, to tell you.
Okay.
Do you promise and swear that everything we talked about today has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
For which
True
everything?
and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
What, that it wasn't intentional?
Everything you've said
told
today,
us.
everything that's come out of your mouth has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
To the best of my knowledge.
Correct. Yes.
Why?
Because
That's how
anytime
you
we talk
swear.
to somebody, we want to assure that everything that we've talked about is,
True and accurate to the best of that person's knowledge.
it's not a trick question,
To the best of my knowledge?
to the best of your knowledge.
Everything that you've told us today is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, but it was not intentional.
Okay. Okay.
All right, do me a favor, stand up. I need you to turn around, face the wall, put your hands behind your back. Do you have anything in your pockets that I should know about?
No.
Okay.
Why is this happening?
Because George is dead.
At first, when I heard this, I thought he said because of George's dad.
Oh.
I thought that's what he said, but then of course that's not what he said. But
Yeah.
I was, yeah,
Because of his dad.
yeah,
Yeah. It's almost like she's like, why is this happening though? Oh, because George is dead. Well, yeah, but we've already, like, that already happened. That's over.
right.
Nothing new there. Like, why are you arresting me now?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's been dead since yesterday.
Yeah. And I
So-
told you it wasn't even intentional. So.
Yeah.
Not intentionally.
We understand
He's
that.
still dead.
Well, we don't
Someone
really
needs to
understand
call Brian, please.
that. Okay.
Or can I not make a phone call?
You'll be able to make a phone call when we get you down to the jail.
So
You'll
why
be
is this
afforded-
happening? So this was a trick.
No, it's not
No.
a trick. I wasn't tricked. I came in here to ask.
You tricked me.
You tricked me. They definitely would not have arrested her unless she came in there voluntarily. Like, they're going to arrest you no matter what, dum-dum.
Right, I know. Yeah.
This was a trick. And listen to her barking out orders. Someone needs to call Brian, please. Where's my assistant?
Call Brian. I'm probably going to need money for something. He has to figure
Call
everything
Brian. Get me a latte while you're at it.
out. Yes.
And
Yeah, I don't like the shoes I'm wearing. You're going to have to get me something else.
yeah.
Yeah, call Brian. Poor Brian. I mean, I just,
No.
he gets called for everything. You find somebody dead in your apartment, call Brian. That's what you got to do.
I know. And he even let her stay at his house.
I know. Well, so much has happened with Brian. He's been through a lot
I
over the
know.
last couple
And
of
she
years.
said, right. And she said when her and George would fight, I don't know if there's truth to this, but probably when her and George would fight, when they were drunk, she would go and stay at Brian's house.
Yes. She would
So
flee.
she just, right. I would flee. So she'd just show up in the middle of the night, blackout drunk and raging and ranting and being crazy.
How
because
would she
she's a
get
good
there?
wife.
Would she drive her car?
Did she have a car?
Yeah.
Oh. Then why was George on his bicycle?
Well, I'm sure that he wasn't allowed to drive it.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. But
I mean, yeah, probably. Well, if she would drive, you would think that she would have like crashed into a house or something by that point.
right.
Maybe she'd have Brian come get her.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Did he go and get her? How
Poor Brian.
annoying.
You
I know.
deserve better, Brian. You can do better.
No, he really got into it when he married Sarah and then also ended up having a child with her. I'm sure he's not going to regret having the child, because I don't think most parents do, right? Even if you have a horrible partner, at least, you know, you ended up with your baby. But man, he has really been through it.
He has. You know, he hired her first defense lawyer, paid out of pocket for a private attorney. Something happened. I don't know if she dismissed that attorney or the attorney quit, but something bad happened with that. And then he still had to pay her alimony while she was in jail.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was like, well, I'm not paying you alimony anymore. You're in jail. What do you need money for? Like, I'm the one raising our kid, not you. So he put in to have that alimony order ended, and she was fighting it. I'm sure she probably still is. She's like, no, actually, you need to continue paying me alimony while I'm in jail, and pay for another lawyer while you're at it, and send me, you know, just completely take care of me.
My goodness.
Very, very entitled.
Yeah.
You to explain a few things to us, and
You were read your rights.
your response to everything was basically, I didn't do it.
Intentionally. I have to go through that.
Doesn't matter. It's still there. Do me a favor. Have a seat.
Really, guys?
Really.
So if I didn't show up. Why is this happening?
If you didn't trick me and get me down here, then maybe I wouldn't have been arrested right now.
It's not fair. What it is.
I know.
None of this is fair.
I know.
Because
Before y'all said I could leave. That I was done after that.
So you lied? So you lied to me. That's not very nice.
No, that's illegal.
It is, right. I'm the only one who's allowed to lie.
Yeah.
Which, if you notice, when they asked her, is everything you've told us today true and accurate? She's like, wait, what? What do you mean? Like, she would not, she's like, well, yeah, that it wasn't intentional. Like, she would not pin that down. Like, yes, everything I've told you is the truth. She's like, I'm not going to commit to that.
No.
Just that it wasn't intentional. That part's true.
Right.
we're done. Absolutely.
So that's what it is.
We are done.
Right. Not intentional.
Okay.
So what am I supposed to do now?
Go to jail?
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly. They're not going to tell you anything of what you should be doing.
No.
You will.
Someone needs to call Brian.
Okay.
Lucas is waiting for Mom to come home.
You guys are stopping Lucas's mom from coming home. He's sitting there waiting on the step.
But don't you dare talk about George's kids not having their dad.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Poor Lucas. Poor Lucas. But don't talk about George's kids. He's trying to make it worse. God, shut up.
Yeah.
Someone needs to call Brian immediately.
Yes.
Who the fuck you think you are, Sarah? You're in handcuffs. Quiet.
Right. You can call him when you get to jail.
Yes. Nobody works for you here. So what do I do now? You need to call Brian. Just figure it out yourself. They're not on your side, okay?
Do you think Brian would have known that this was happening today?
No. Well, I mean, it depends what Brian knew. Like what she said to him before she called the police, when she called him over, when George was dead. Like, it depends on if he knew that, because I'm sure he didn't know there were videos of, proving that she maliciously kept him in the suitcase when he was telling her he couldn't breathe.
True.
So, Probably not. I mean, he probably assumed it was going to happen eventually. She zipped him up in a suitcase and left him there overnight.
Right. Yeah, I was just wondering if he would have had an idea that, because obviously she would have told him that she was going down there for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just go talk to them. They have some questions for me or something like that. And I was like, I wonder if he's thinking, okay, well, I'll be waiting for that call from the Orange County Jail.
Surprised.
No, I doubt it. Especially because he was so aware of their relationship that there is no way that this was just a mistake. This was domestic violence that took it to the very last level. That's exactly what happened.
Right. And he knows because he was a victim of Sarah's domestic violence too.
He was, yes.
I thought I was waiting for you all to come and figure out what's what and how many.
That's what we're trying to do.
And I was going to be able to go home and see Lucas. Now he's just not going to have me come home. So there's nothing that I can do.
All right, yeah.
There's nothing that I can do in order to go home and see Lucas and prepare.
All right, no. You'll be afforded a time in court. You'll be afforded an attorney. You'll be afforded a chance to talk to a judge, and all that stuff will be worked out.
But what's the time frame for that, though?
I have
Long
no idea.
time.
You should
Yeah.
make first appearance probably by tomorrow morning, if not tonight, depending how things are busy, how quickly you get down there.
I had
I
a
don't
sneaky
work in
suspicion
there.
this was going to happen. And I need water, like, really bad, please.
How's she?
I love the looks that she gives. She's looking up at him with these daggers.
She's just incredulous. They tricked her.
I can't believe you did this.
Now Lucas is he's just gonna be all alone without his mom. What is he gonna do?
The mom who was very, very present in his life.
Yeah.
Never
done a
missed.
day.
Yep, never missed any of the things that they were going to be doing together, any of the visitations. She never had to be called constantly to make sure that she was going to get up with her hangover. No, none of that ever happened.
She was gonna go home and they were gonna do a puzzle together tonight. And now who's gonna do that puzzle with poor little Lucas?
Yeah.
It's funny, this like bargaining she's trying to do. So there's nothing I can do to go home. You're in handcuffs. No, there is nothing you can do or say to get out of this. Once you're in the cuffs, like you're not getting out of them until you're in jail.
Yeah, there's a couple of instances I can think of where those questions that get asked, or it's implied anyway. I'm thinking of Dustin McFetridge. Anybody watch his interrogation constantly? But he did that as well, kind of like, when I go home, I'm going to throw away everything that I have.
Yeah. Like
just
I'm going home, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just like with Sarah, I'm never drinking alcohol again. And she's like looking between the both of them.
Right. Waiting for them to be like, well, you're not going to get the chance to, or some indication of what's going to happen.
Right. Or even like, well, I'm really glad to hear that. Give some type of reassurance that she's going to be going home. But yeah.
I mean, I understand the whole like, so shit, I'm going to jail. There's nothing I can do. Like, this is what's happening. This is definitely happening, right? we can't negotiate this or anything. I understand. You don't want to go to jail, so it's worth a try, right?
Yeah.
But
right.
she's just incredulous that this is happening. Just can't believe it.
She can't believe
Even
it.
though she said, I had a suspicion. Really? You had a suspicion that you might get arrested for murder after you murdered somebody? Good job.
Yeah.
Absolutely did not.
I just got those.
Okay. They are not allowed in the jail.
What did she just get? Could you tell?
Cigarettes.
Oh.
A pack of cigarettes.
I just got them. Well, look, we're going to refund you, Sarah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's not fair.
No.
Who gives a shit that you just got them?
I don't know, but cigarettes are definitely something that you hear a lot about in these type of instances, or even when somebody is just either they're getting arrested, they're about to go in the police car. Can I have a cigarette? Even Sarah, when she was there waiting in front, she wanted a cigarette. It's always a cigarette. It must be for anxiety or something, but
yeah, it's a very high stress situation. I can understand that too, but I'm sure. I mean, like, why even say that? I just got those. Okay, that doesn't matter. Why would you think that matters when you're arrested? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. You just bought this. Here, smoke. We'll wait for you to smoke
all of them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't want you to waste $10 or whatever it is. Yeah.
Right.
That's my property. How dare you?
You're stealing.
You're stealing. Yes. I'm getting screwed over left and right here. I'm not getting my phone back. Lucas isn't getting his laptop, which has nothing on it, by the way, or his mom.
Right.
And now you're going to
I
take my
that
cigarettes. Too. Yeah.
There's nothing on it anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
We'll just take your word for it.
Right. Yeah. Even though she said, check the laptop. It shows that I was looking into getting a restraining order.
Yeah. We'll just check it right now, like right here, and then give it back to me at the end of this meeting.
Right. Exactly.
So I can't even smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. This meeting.
And what am I supposed to do with my car?
You'll be fine where it is. When you get down there, you'll have 3 phones. You'll be able to call.
What, as soon as possible?
Yeah, once you get down in there, get booked in, you'll be able to use a phone in the waiting
But
area.
how long will that take? Because I need to talk to Brian.
You're not going anywhere. You've got a lot of time. Be patient. You must learn patience.
No, this is very important. It's top priority.
And it's all very inconvenient to her.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
They need to understand that.
Yeah.
But she's at, like, how long is that going to take? I need an exact time frame. Jail and like the court system, they're notoriously slow. They don't give a shit that you need to make a phone call.
Well, no, and there's so many people too. She's not the only one that they're having to deal with. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not going to get you in there and rush her over to the phone. She has to get booked in, like the intake process. I'm sure that takes quite a while.
Yeah.
They've got a ton of stuff to do and go over. So you better just sit tight.
Yeah.
Quickly they get you through. Probably would say within the hour. It's a free phone call in the lobby. It's a free phone call.
All I'm doing is bringing you there, sign the paper, and you're all done.
She has no clue.
So can I ask you, or whoever it is, those holding cells, am I going to be put in one of those?
I don't know.
Last time I had a panic attack.
Let them know that.
Oh, why? Are you claustrophobic?
Oh my God, I know. What a tone deaf thing to say in this situation.
Yeah. The holding cell is way too small for me.
Yeah, I had a panic attack in there. Oh my God. Think about what you're there for, dummy. That it is so like insensitive and self-centered to think that at a time like this. And anyone who's not like super narcissistic like Sarah would realize that. But there are people always with the talk of anxiety. I'm having an anxiety attack. I had panic attacks, blah, blah. Yeah, you're in a very stressful situation. You're going to jail.
Yeah.
Nobody would expect you to be calm or not be experiencing some anxiety. You're arrested for murder, of course. But so many people will ask, like, can I get my anxiety medication? Yeah, we're just going to give you a bottle of Xanax.
Yes, whatever you need. Whatever you need.
Right.
What, do you have any pain? Do you need narcotics or something? Is that going to make you feel better?
Right. What can we do for you? We work for you, Sarah.
Yes. What can we do for you to make this whole situation more comfortable
Hmm.
while
And
you work it out?
it actually reminds me of something you've said before, which I thought was very eloquently put, if I do
Oh,
say.
thank you.
You said, as if a punishment is supposed to be convenient,
Yes.
which is so true. Like, nothing is based around your comfort or convenience right now. That's not the
Right.
priority.
Yeah, I know. I know. We see it all the time. We hear it
Hmm.
all the time. Like, Sarah, you don't have a say in any of this. You're going to go to the jail. You're going to be going along on their timeline.
Hmm.
If you didn't do what you did, then you wouldn't be in this situation.
Right.
Period. That's the end of it. But yeah, but a lot of people look at the punishment or whatever they have to go through as being inconvenient. That's not fair. This is inconvenient to me. You know,
Hmm.
like Lauren. Lauren's a perfect example, right?
Right.
The fact
Yeah, that's
that,
who you said it about.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, because he complains about that all the time. Like the last time he went to prison, 6 months time he received, even though he
Hmm.
should have gotten more. But he received 6 months. So what does he do with that? He complains that they should have known that he was going to lose his land. They should have known that he was going to lose his car. They should have known that he was going to lose his job. They should have known and taken all of that into consideration when putting him into prison as a punishment. If it's not inconvenient, then how is it a punishment?
Right.
It's supposed to make you not want to do these things, right?
Exactly.
And yeah. So every single thing is always a complaint. These cuffs. Do you have to cuff me behind my back? Can't you cuff me in front? Why can't I have a cigarette before we go? It's, I mean, you don't get to call the
Yeah.
shots.
Right. Well, she was basically saying, and Lauren did the same thing. You should let me go home and get prepared and get my affairs in order
Mm-hmm.
before you take me to jail.
Right.
And that's just not the way it works. First of all, there's such thing as a flight risk.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh,
if
yes.
somebody knows they're going to jail,
Yes.
what's going to stop them from taking off? God knows I probably would. Like any
All right. Well, you just
normal
put it on a
person.
recording, so.
Yeah, don't ever let me out on bail. Don't ever, tell me you have to turn yourself in on this date, because I won't do it. I'm running away. I'm going to South America, probably.
Okay.
Who knows? Thailand. I'm going somewhere. But yeah, she really thinks it's reasonable for her to say, like, let me go home, get prepared, get my affairs in order. Lucas is counting on me coming home today,
Yeah.
so I can't do it today. Today doesn't work for me.
Right.
Let's reschedule. And we can plan let me check my calendar, and we can plan for a certain day. And Lauren did the same thing. When he went to court, he actually went to court and had his lawyer ask the judge if he could be released for a time and then turn himself in and serve his time later, because he had empty oil tanks at home. And yeah, he needed to pay for his land and his car and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. That's just not how it works. You're going to jail and you're going now. I think
Right.
there are some rare occasions where a judge will let somebody out for a time, or, delay, like you have to turn yourself in on this date to serve your sentence. But that's very rare. I don't think that happens frequently at all.
No, I don't think that it does either. I think, well, I know, for example, Karen Reed, she was charged with second-degree murder, and she was out on bail, but she had the money, and she also had private attorneys, and it was never an issue. She never got in trouble, for that.
Well,
But
yeah, Dahlia DiPolito too was
oh
out.
yeah,
She was on house arrest for years while she was going through her trial. I think her first trial ended in a mistrial or something.
how is that possible?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I know she had more than one trial.
Okay.
They appealed it or something, but yeah, she was out on house arrest for I think it was like 6 years.
Oh, that's right. She was with her parents, or her
Yeah,
mom at
and
least, right? Yeah.
she had a baby while she was
Oh
while she
God.
was on house arrest.
We're gonna have to look at that one.
Definitely.
He's not
that
dead. He's dead.
is-
Oh my. I mean
And you
the.
noticed he ran into the arms of the big, strong, muscular, handsome
Yes,
cop too.
yes,
He didn't go run to like the short, fat, old guy.
No, why would you?
He's
Amanda
like-
James, you know what you would do.
I do. I love police officers. I just have a thing for them anyway. So yes, I would. But I'm not on the table here.
Okay, all right. Well, not
Don't
yet
judge me.
anyway. Yeah. When you run away and you're a bail jumper, then
I know. Maybe
we'll be talking about
someday you can talk about. We can talk about my case from prison.
Yeah, well, you're
I'll be
gonna,
in prison.
yes, live on location. Yeah, no, that is a great one though. In his face while she's doing, he's just like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is a great one.
That is a good one. And then
Definitely worth
when she
talking about.
sees, what was his name, Michael?
Yeah. Mike.
Okay, yeah, and he's sitting
Mm-hmm.
in there. She's like, what?
Mike, please come here.
Yeah.
Please come here. And he's like, you just tried to have me killed. I heard it. I heard everything. You didn't hear what you heard. She said something totally stupid like that. Like, what you saw and heard isn't what you saw and heard.
Good. That's a good
Oh,
one. Yeah.
Mhm.
You're going to do all the impersonations.
Yes, yes, I will.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, you're familiar with the Big Bay. As long as you go in and you act civil to them, they'll set you in the Big Bay. And you'll be left there for
Can
a
you
while.
request that while I'm there?
No, that's not up to us. We don't work at the jail.
As long as like you're saying,
Can you come and
You go in
request
and
for
act
me?
like this, you'll
Shut
go in
up.
and they'll put you in the Big Bay. If you go in there screaming and kicking and yelling and
Why would
cursing
I
at
do
people,
that?
I don't know. I'm just letting you know that's what happens. That's how they weed people out. If you go in acting like this,
So I asked for the Big Bay?
no, they'll put you there as long as you're acting like this.
Yeah, because the last time I had a major panic attack on those little things.
Hey, change the cups.
Go, Shanna.
I have not
So
found
what am I
anything.
gonna do with my purse? Oh, sorry.
Your purse is gonna come, but the cigarettes and stuff can't, so.
I put the lock up too, my bad.
Oh, no, it's all good. Mine are the opposite, so.
What made you all decide to do this?
Made us decide to do this?
Uh-huh.
George is dead.
You guys, I knew this was gonna happen,
You did? Okay.
so I came
Well, we
down here
gave-
willingly.
Yes, absolutely. We were trying to figure out what's going on. We're still trying to figure out what's going on.
Unintentionally.
Just-
So she knew she was going to get arrested and she came down there willingly. That's what she's trying to say now.
Well, that just speaks to her character.
It
She's
does.
a noble person.
Yeah. She's trying to help George.
Yeah, I think she is outraged that she went down there willingly. She would much prefer that she made them come get her than make it easy for them.
Yes, even with Lucas there, because that would give her something to complain about and say how outraged that she is that they did that in front of her son.
Yeah, I think she would use Lucas as like a human shield.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to arrest me in front of my son. Look at this little boy.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to traumatize him?
Mm-hmm. As she's holding on to him with like a death grip.
Right.
You know?
We're not. George is dead. You act like when you say unintentionally, that absolves you from everything.
I need to get, I have my, I don't know if it's
And you
able
need-
to be
you
or
need to
not.
get oiled in. I apologize.
No, no, it's okay.
I have things in my car that I need to,
Okay.
Put your purse like that.
What kind of stuff do you have in your car that you're worried about?
well, I have my medication.
Okay, they have a pharmacy there, so if there's something that you have to have
Or if
right
it's
away.
anxiety
you'll be seeing
medication.
a nurse.
That's right.
Cannabis stuff.
Controlled
Again,
substance that
when
she
you get
desperately wants to
checked
get her
in-
hands on.
Right.
Because
When you
if
see-
it's just allergy meds, I doubt she'd give a shit.
Right. No, it's going to be something that's going to take the edge off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she needs.
I'll turn around now.
And that they have a pharmacy there, so they'll be able to take care of any kind of that stuff. That protocol is out of my realm. I don't work down there, so I don't know, but I do know they do have a pharmacy, and that you will be afforded to see somebody. Okay?
Hold on.
Yes, ma'am. I was saying that. My bad.
Well, bye, Sarah.
Bye-bye. I was just thinking, this was not her first time going to jail.
No.
So
No, it
she should
isn't.
know how it works. You know, she's like, what's going to happen to my purse? What's going to happen to this? What's going to happen to that? She should know. Or like, what are they going to do? Are they going to put, maybe when she went to jail before, she was only in a holding cell for a short time and then they let her out or something?
Well, I know that she was arrested at home as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she, you know, her purse and all that kind of stuff would have just been at home.
Oh, okay.
And then also, I don't know how long she was held for the time that she was arrested. They talk about that particular charge in her most recent hearings.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a hearing on the 9th that it was for the motions that she was filing. And one of the motions had to do with her being shackled.
Yeah.
So, and I think that we should probably play at some point as we're getting ready, like for her to go to trial, the interaction that she has with the two deputies that she talks to. It's like her first time questioning a quote unquote witness. Yeah, because they had to provide some input as to her shackling and why she should or shouldn't be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I think it gives a good preview of what to expect when she's doing either direct or cross-examination.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. So she, of course, does not want to be shackled when she's there. And during trial, a defendant is sitting at the table. They're not walking around. So while they're not going to have their hands cuffed, at least visible to the jury, their feet will be shackled underneath the table. And then there's like you can't see under the table.
Right. So, yeah, when Jody was at trial, not to interrupt, but
Yeah.
when Jody was at trial, she was wearing street clothes, like from the waist up. But from the waist down, she was wearing her like prison pants and was shackled.
Oh, was she wearing
And
prison pants? Oh.
she was, at least for, remember when she was on the stand
Yes.
and Juan Martinez made her demonstrate what a linebacker would do?
Yes.
Like she said, Travis came at her like a linebacker, and he's like, well, show me. And she just said, well, like a linebacker. And he's like, no, show me. Get up and show me. And I think they had to kick the jury out while she did that.
Oh, okay.
But she was wearing prison pants with her like blazer and like blouse, like she was dressed. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's if everybody does that, because I know during trial they're not supposed to mention to the jury that the defendant is in jail for some reason.
Correct. Yeah, they're not supposed to. They're innocent at that time. They're sitting at the defendant's table, but they're innocent. So that's why they're not sitting there in their jail clothes.
Right.
So they're dressed up. They have, they'll cover up any, swastikas maybe that are tattooed to their face, like Wade Wilson.
Like Wade Wilson, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they look like they're just sitting there, because they're presumed innocent. So seeing somebody who's shackled or they have their hands cuffed, then obviously that gives a presumption that they're in trouble.
Yes.
Even though I think most people understand that it's likely they're probably in jail.
First degree murder.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I didn't know she had prison or her jail pants on.
I mean, I could be, what's that word, that phrase, Mandela affecting myself.
Oh,
I
misremembering.
could
Yeah,
be,
thinking that you saw that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm pretty sure because it stood out to me. The
Oh, sure. Yeah, because they're striped. Weren't they
I
striped or were
think
they
they were just
orange?
tan. No, hers were
Oh,
just tan.
okay.
Um, but they weren't just like khaki pants, like dress pants
Right.
or something. They were very clearly prison pants, to my
Right.
memory. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look, and hopefully I'm not wrong because that would be weird if I just made that up in my own head. But
Yeah. Well, we'll die on that hill with you. Okay. Nobody look for it. Okay. We're just going to believe it.
well, let me look for it first, and then if I'm right, you can look for it. If I'm
Right.
wrong, forget I said it.
It never happens. It never happens. Yeah. Um, so she raised a motion. She didn't want to be shackled because she wants to be able to move about the courtroom. Because obviously that's normally what you see when attorneys are talking. They'll be at a podium addressing the jury, or they'll say, "May I approach the witness?" Like they'll have to go to sidebars, and all of that. So obviously you don't want to be shuffling around in your shackles, clinking around, with the chains. But they had to talk about it. Hang on just a second.
Sure.
I have a nasty little one here.
A naughty doggy. So I haven't heard, just to chat with the chat while Tiff's busy. I heard that she had put that motion in to have her handcuffs and shackles removed during trial. And from what I think I was listening to some like YouTube lawyer reacting to all this, and they said she likely won't be handcuffed, and that's fair to ask, of course.
Yeah.
But having shackles removed. So this lawyer, I don't remember who it was, but they said either they will probably grant that and let her walk around freely. The motion was like a freedom of movement motion or something, or that's what Sarah called it. So either they will remove the shackles and she'll be able to walk around freely, or they'll keep her shackles on, but all the prosecutors won't be able to leave their defense table or their podium. Like they'll have to be seated as well.
Yes, it has to be an even playing field.
Right.
Yeah, because that could be something that the jury would notice as well, right?
Yeah.
The prosecutor's walking around, they're doing what they need to do, but she's just standing up. That's as far as she can go. But yeah, so they had the hearing, and like I said, it was interesting to hear her talk to the two deputies. And she does not know what she's doing, clearly, and she mentions that. And I think that that's what's going to end up happening when she's in court. I'm so looking forward to her opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not allowed to have an attorney. And she's going to look them all dead in the eye. And I just feel like that's going to happen so many times. But when she's talking to these deputies and asking them questions, because of course the state is going to object. They want her to be shackled. And of course, I just saw somebody mention it. They don't clink. They do tape them. But it would be funny if they did. She's like shuffling around. You hear clink, 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 clink. But yeah, they do tape them so that you don't hear anything. Because of course, again, the jury can't hear that. But so the state is going to object. And so of course she, wants to have herself be able to move without the restraints. And so they brought in two deputies. One of them was the head of security at the courthouse. The other one, I'm trying to remember if he was the same or if he worked at the jail. I think he was from the courthouse, though. I'm just trying to remember. But they were asking, what can be done? And so when the state was objecting to her not having the shackles, this first deputy was bringing up how, number one, she has the arrest from domestic violence. And then also she had 3 incidents of noncompliance while she was in jail where she refused to go to court. And of course, she's arguing against this. She's just like, that's not true. Yeah. And so, of course, so then the state is objecting, and some of that was sustained. And someone had mentioned in the chat earlier, this might be a lame question, but what does sustained mean? Because that is what she asked. She asked the judge.
That's what Sarah said?
Mm-hmm, yeah, she asked.
Oh my God. Do you think she really doesn't know what sustained means, or she's just trying to really drive it home her ignorance and her how unqualified she is to be her own counsel? Because she says that at every turn. Since I'm forced to represent myself and I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know the answer to that. It's possible she doesn't know what exactly it means. She's probably heard it before, but maybe she doesn't actually know what that means in context to what's happening with her, the question that she's asking, and then what does that mean? You know? Okay. But yeah, and then there was the other deputy who was talking about the options that they could have. And the option that they essentially settled on was that she's going to have a shock cuff on her leg. So then, that's going to...
So she fucks around. She's going to find out.
And somebody has a remote to that.
Yes, I know. I think that is the case in a lot of trials. Like that, but it usually goes around their waist, I thought.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if they have that.
I could be making that up too. Because I just Googled Jody and the pants.
Okay.
And they might just be really poorly fitting pants. Like really loose, baggy. I guess it doesn't matter, but.
But yeah, so that's what's going to end up happening. And the next time that she goes to a hearing, she's not going to be sitting in the jury box with her hands in cuffs. She's going to be at the defendant's table. And she's not going to have the handcuffs. She will have shackles on her ankles, though, because there's not going to be a jury there. So there's no issue of fairness. So she's going to be doing that. But I think it will be, like I said, a good idea to take a look at that with everybody, because it's gonna give us an idea. She isn't asking questions properly. She's more making statements. And so they object to that because there's no question. And then also asked and answered is another one that's coming up quite a lot, because she'll just ask again.
Right.
You know, because she doesn't like the answer that they're giving. You know, in particular. Yep, go ahead.
Sorry, I haven't seen it yet, but I can imagine the statements she's making, like, oh, so everything's my fault, basically. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to answer that?
Right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
It is interesting. It is interesting. So we will definitely look at that. I'm trying to think. All I hear is my dog whining.
Oh, she's whining.
She's going,
She's mad. She wants to fight.
You
won't let her.
She does want to fight. That's like what I have to do half the time. In AJ too, our dogs are just, they're a handful.
Yeah, Angie won't shut up. A poodle just walked by. Right now she's staring out the window, ready to bark at anyone and everything. So
yeah.
I hope you guys like walking dogs. I hope you're okay with it.
I could be, experiencing attempted murder over here at any moment, with my dog. She's ready at any moment she could strike. So that's why I'm always like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. But yeah,
well, What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So, so Sarah, like I said, she's been very busy writing up her motions, sending them in to the court, handwritten, of course. Yeah. The other one that she was successful in was getting hard copies of the discovery, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I mean,
I think it is too.
I don't think it's unfair to ask that. One of the lawyers that I was watching that was reacting and commenting on this whole situation said he thinks they are going to, meaning the court, are going to try to work with her and afford her all these things because they know what an uphill battle it's going to be for her to defend herself.
Yeah.
They're not budging on that. Like she abused her counsel to the point where she no longer has the right
Yeah.
to have somebody represent her, but they're gonna, work with her on all that other stuff because she only has 2 months to prepare.
She does. And
the trial.
I heard that the judge was expecting that this trial was going to be like 2 weeks, and he's extended that to 3 weeks because they just know that getting through it, I think, is going to be really difficult. I mean, remember watching Daryl Brooks? Right now, he's a different person. He's got a totally different demeanor as well, where he's just aggressive. He's just flat out aggressive. But it was really difficult to get through things. And I think with her, it's going to be difficult to get through things as well because she's not going to know how to ask things properly, and especially in front of a jury.
Yeah.
She's going to want to say things. She's going to want to argue with witnesses and have more of a conversation than ask a question, they provide an answer. Ask a question, they provide an answer. She is going to get really flustered, I think, pretty easily. And I just really look forward to her opening statement because I expect that there's going to be objections during her opening statement.
Yes, I agree. I think the prosecution is just constantly going to be objecting because it's tricky to word things in the proper way. We've seen like real lawyers, professional, very high paid lawyers struggle with how to word things when talking to witnesses. I'm thinking of Amber Heard's lawyers.
Yeah, Elaine.
Elaine, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Elaine, did you go to law school? Like, she just could not figure out how to word what she was trying to word.
Yeah, what if anything?
Right. And she just could not understand how that wasn't the way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how that wasn't appropriate or acceptable. How the hell is Sarah going to do it? And to be fair, how would anybody do it? Like,
I don't
you
know.
have to learn all this stuff in 2 months and you're in jail on top of it. So, yes, she only has access to the internet, which is that and law books from the library at jail. That's the only way she can educate herself on how to be a defense attorney. I mean, like, she deserves it. She sucks. And, like, that's what you get. You were an asshole too many times. And you were never satisfied with your counsel, so you can do it. You think you can do better? You do it. Like, I get it. But that is a very tall order to be able to, like, I don't care how intelligent a person is. You need the education and the experience.
Exactly. No, exactly. I mean, it's just like getting questioned during an interrogation. You don't have the experience to know what they're doing or what's going to happen or how easily you can get yourself into trouble. That's why they say you need to have an attorney, especially when you're innocent, because you can say something unintentionally, no malicious, and you
Right.
can screw yourself over big time, without knowing that. But once that warning is read and you start talking, you're answering questions and you think that you're being helpful or whatever, or I didn't do anything wrong, I don't have anything to worry about. I mean, we
Yeah.
know you have everything to worry about when you are in that chair. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not there to just get to the bottom of it. Like, they're there to get any inconsistency in anything you say is going to be enough for them to detain you,
Yeah.
frankly. And then, yeah, they're trying to get a confession.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, she's been in jail ever since
I know,
2020.
it's been 4 years.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So what do you think life is like for her in there?
Well, I think she doesn't have many friends.
Okay.
I don't think she's the kind of person who invites camaraderie from other people. I think most people probably hate her.
Okay.
She's a total bitch and a pain in the ass. I mean, I don't know. I think. Oh, you know what I did hear though, and this just popped into my head. When she talks to Lucas, her son, he basically tells her, like, I don't have to listen to you. You suck. You're a piece of shit. I don't have to do anything you say. And she mentioned that during the alimony stuff.
Okay.
She's like, well, I'm being undermined to my own son. And he, you all are undermining me. Brian's undermining me. And my son even says that to me. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what life must be like for her now that she's scrambling, trying to get everything together to defend herself in the next 2 months. But I would say she's probably alone. I bet she puts out a lot of demands, or at least tries to. Well, we know she does in the court. She makes all kinds of demands.
Right.
She's been demanding her phone. She, the laptop wasn't good enough. She wants hard copies too. The hours that the laptop is available isn't good enough.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's a pain in the ass. Like, my blanket is too rough. My bed is too hard. My toilet is too metal. This food doesn't agree with me. I just bought those cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's my best guess.
Yeah, I know she's saying that she's in a dorm with like 60 other women. So that was one of the concerns as well with her discovery, getting hard copies of it, that the jail didn't have a place to secure it so that she could also have access to it and all of that. And you don't want to just have it in there,
Right.
unsupervised, and who knows what can happen. I wouldn't want that either for myself. And I can certainly understand wanting to have the hard copies. I think that there's often, from the viewpoint of a defendant, that they're going to get screwed over, that they're withholding evidence, they're not giving me everything, and I need to have it for myself. So in thinking about what would she have access to prior to getting the couple of boxes of evidence or to her discovery, is that she would have the laptop from 8 to 4 every day, and that's it. So she wouldn't be able to have it, physically, so that she could write on things and she can look at it at any time during the day, whenever she wants to.
Right.
And she wouldn't be limited to that. But yeah, I think that there's just an idea of, having an Alec Baldwin moment. If anybody followed that, his charge was dismissed because the prosecutor withheld evidence. And that all came out during trial, and they had a hearing, and it was such a mess. And they found out that there was a secret meeting and there was evidence that was filed under a different case number, so the defense never had access to it, and case dismissed. That's it. You screwed up.
Oh, man. Doing that with Alec Baldwin can pay for the best lawyers in the world.
Right.
I don't think, don't do that shit to Sarah Boone. She's she's not gonna know. But Alec Baldwin, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Didn't she just get her discovery?
She did, yeah. Actually, at the hearing, they were mentioning that they were going to give it to her, like either that day or coming up really soon.
So I know she had been asking for it incessantly.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave me the impression, at least, that she should have gotten it far sooner than that. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's what she seemed to think, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's fair. She absolutely needs to discuss. Like, I don't blame her for asking for it like that. You definitely need that.
Oh, Victoria says she got it Monday.
Right. I feel like she should have gotten it a long time ago.
Well, see, and that's the thing too. And I've heard a lot of people say that she has seen all of this. She knows exactly what's there. Yeah, she's had 8 attorneys already.
Yeah, I had heard that too. And I think, like, there are even documents that she has initialed and signed that prove that she's had them, or she's seen them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she just didn't have a copy herself, but she had at least seen them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting. I'm sure that this isn't the last we're going to see of her prior to her trial.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Do you guys hear that?
Is it the ice cream truck?
It's the ice cream truck.
Oh, you gotta go catch it.
Oh my gosh, it's so loud.
You can buy a $9 like pup cup thing for your dog.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sure it is really expensive. I've never gone out there, but
it's like non-dairy soft serve with a milk bone crushed on it.
Oh, okay.
$32.
Right, exactly. And you're like, what?
Well, if you love your dog, you'll get it, right?
That is true. These freeloaders over here that get everything. Yeah.
I know.
That's what they need. Yeah. Well, anyway, is there anything else you would like to discuss? Any cases you're following? YSL?
Yeah, so I have been enjoying that. But I only like one witness. So I don't really know anything. His name is Lil Woody.
There you go.
He's very, very funny. He's very hostile. He does not want to participate. He does not want to testify. He doesn't want anything to do with any of it. He's very sassy. When they ask him, like, how old are you, Sarah? He says, I'm grown. And they're like, well, what does that mean? It means I'm grown. It's very funny. He's entertaining. I don't really know anything else about the case except that two people were shot and killed, I think. I don't know. I'm not as interested in the details. I just like to hear Lil Woody.
You like him, yeah.
I do. The prosecutor came to went up to the witness stand to hand him a document or show him something, and he jumped backwards and shoved his hands out and said, get back, and then made a face like he just smelled something horrific. Like, he made it very clear that her breath smelled so bad that he couldn't even have her near him. Like, he covered his face up with his shirt.
Man.
And this poor prosecutor, she's like, you need some water? You okay? And, she knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So that's entertaining. And I would encourage you all to go check out Lil Woody.
I do need to check that out. I haven't paid attention to that. I know it's a massive trial. It's been going on forever. There's a ton of defendants. There's a ton of attorneys. The judge, prior to the one that's there now, because the other one was recused, but he was forcing attorneys to buy everybody lunch if they did something that he didn't like, or they had to write papers. Oh yeah, it was pretty wild, the things that he would hand out and say, you're going to write a 30-page paper on, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was something like, I don't know, just it's because he didn't like what they did. He didn't,
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought he arrested, or he had one of the defense attorneys detained, and threatened to hold him in contempt of court. I think he did hold him in contempt of court because he was told about like a secret ex parte meeting between the judge and one of the witnesses.
Yes.
Where allegedly the witness was threatened with jail time if they didn't, cooperate and testify. And the judge said it's appropriate. The meeting was appropriate. We didn't do anything wrong, but I need to know who told you that. I need to know how you know that. And the attorney refused to name the person. And he claimed, it's attorney-client privilege. Says, I don't have to tell you. And the judge said, well, I say otherwise, and I'm going to hold you in contempt. I think Lil Woody was held in contempt of court, too. And if he wasn't, I don't know why he wasn't. Because if ever anybody should be, it's him. I mean, I don't want him to be. I want Lil Woody to be a free man forever.
Yeah, well, there's a chance that he might be coming back because I had just sent you before this started. There was a post from Long Crime that says the jury in the YSL RICO case is expected to return to the courtroom on Monday after nearly 2 months. So the jury's been out for 2 months. They have to come back. And on Thursday, Judge Paige Reese Whitaker said there could be a chance for a mistrial if some jurors say they cannot disregard or unhear the evidence that was already presented. So basically, they're starting over. And if the jury can't just move on and say, okay, clean slate, I don't know nothing, then they could have a mistrial and they're going to have to do everything all over again.
Yeah. One of the lawyers I was watching that was talking about it, that they said they think that's likely, that it will, it will have a mistrial. So it's going to go on for even longer. So we'll have more words.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So there's other things going on too. If anybody has been following the Karen retrial, there's been a lot going on with that, with the mistrial that happened. And then the jurors are speaking out and there was confusion on the jury forms or the verdict forms. And so the prosecutor has to decide what they're going to do. I think, if I remember correctly, they're going to be dropping charges 1 and 3 and going for, I think, the second one. Or they're just going to decide not to move forward altogether. I have to catch up with all of that. But like I said, it's been a crazy couple of weeks over here. So haven't been able to follow everything that I've wanted to. But there was another really disturbing one. Johnny Utah brought it up, of a man who killed his supposed fiance or girlfriend by driving her out to Nevada and leaving her out in the desert, like tied to a street sign or like a highway sign or something like that. Yeah, and tied her there and watched her die because he taped her mouth and her nose.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awful. But yeah, so he's already been to trial, and he was charged. He went to federal court because they were originally, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting everything now. I think they were from Pennsylvania. And yeah, he drove her out there with the understanding of doing like a bondage type photo shoot.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard something about that.
Yeah. And so, her getting undressed and being tied up and stuff like that, that probably wasn't something that didn't happen often, or at least that was a part of their relationship. And then he tied her there and then he taped her and watched her die. Yeah.
It's fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when he went home, he drove back home and used her phone to communicate with her family and everybody as if she was still alive.
They always do that, don't they? I know.
Yes, they do. They do. Yeah, Johnny said that she was 4'1" and 80 pounds. She did look very small.
Oh, wow. That is very small.
Yeah. And there was this...
It's like a 9-year-old.
Yeah. So there's always something, right? There's always something. I think that's That's why I'm so interested in, I think, these types of discussions and the cases that happen, because number one, they happen all the time, and one seems to be crazier than the other. But also, it's almost like they happen to ordinary people, Such tragic things can happen just to ordinary people. And you think about it, you're like, wow, just all the different types of things. I'm thinking about even in Idaho with the 4 students that were stabbed to death. They went out one night, hanging out with their friends. They go home. They are going to go to bed. And then some weirdo breaks in and stabs 4 of them. Like, just totally unexpected, unsuspecting victims. It's crazy. So
Yeah, people with no like violent history or anything. Like, I'm thinking of Letitia Stout.
Oh, yes.
Who's one I'm just obsessed with. She, married her husband. They had a blended family. He had children from a previous relationship, and just out of the blue, she kills the little boy, the 11-year-old. Her 11-year-old stepson, and all this craziness ensues after. These crazy lies she tells, these stories.
Yeah.
I think that's what I find most interesting, is watching and listening to people lie. And doing it so confidently, but also poorly. I'm not good at lying, so I think I don't know. I try to put myself in their position, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
we'll
it's
have
fascinating
we'll
to
have to
watch.
look at her too. I know we're planning on it. Looking at her. She was one actually that I was thinking about when they were talking about most defendants can have their hands free during their trial. And I recall seeing something because she was flipping people off.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was saying that he was going to have her hands bolted to the underneath the table. I mean, the jury wouldn't see it, but she wouldn't be able to flip anybody off anymore. I don't know if he moved forward with that. I just remember seeing the story. But yeah, or, you can have defendants who attack their attorneys, like Taylor Shabiznes.
Taylor Shabiznes. She is another one. She is wild.
She is. Yeah.
You know what she's not, though? She's not a liar. She told the whole truth.
She
Her
did.
interrogation is crazy.
And
held nothing back.
I remember we were talking too. She did her winged eyeliner very well.
Oh, yeah.
And her mugshot. Yeah. But yeah.
She had to wear a spit mask, one of those spit mask things during her sentencing, and
yeah.
Her dad was at her sentencing talking about, what a great person she is and how much he loves her, and how basically the system failed her, he said.
Yeah. Which
was very interesting considering he's her parent, and if anyone failed, it's not the government's responsibility to, if how's the government going to see that she has mental illness? Her family should do it. But then you find out, because her dad came and testified, and he was in an orange jumpsuit, clearly
yes, he was.
Brought in from the prison.
Yes.
And then you find out that he was in prison for assaulting a child.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what he was in prison for. I couldn't remember that. But I do remember that he was in prison, and he was also kind of combative when he was on the stand. Right. Yeah. Man.
Yeah. Very interesting. So many crazy people.
I know. Well, I think we'll leave it there for now. And everybody stay safe. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, through looking at this interrogation, also our craziness with the dogs. They're a part of us, right? They're part of the channel too.
They're breasts. Yeah.
Yeah, they're breasts. So then we will see you next time, and until then, take care.